Dash League Nation, what is up? Are you ready for the weekend power tournament? I know I am. Welcome to the stream. My name's Goose. Yeah. I am joined by Not Gollum, The Drink, and Willow. Jaded is in here helping out with some technical stuff. May hear from her, and then we may have Humbles joining us in a bit. But welcome to the stream. Let's just hop over to the first game. The lobby is up, and we are moving. Here we go. Boom. We're checking out Swole versus WNNN. Now, what does WNNN stand for, Not Gollum?
We need no name. I could just go over the rest. It's giving like early days Team D. For those in the know, they used to be named TBD, to be determined. Then they determined their name. I really like that sort of format. But on the roster for them is Raider, Crusher, The Flame, Daman, F2P, Uzumaki Naruto, and Whopper. Really a big appreciation from my end for all the video game names out there. There's so much creativity that goes on with them, just like the team names. And then their opponents are Swole. I think that is short for Swole with an E at the end.
Yes,
yeah,
like characters for
pumping
the
iron
for the clan tag.
The Euro buff guys.
On their roster is Tenacious Dave, our website master who developed the new website. You can find the link to it in the description. Steve Urkel.
Steve Urkel is Ivan.
Okay, so all of them are going with aliases, or most of them are, it looks like.
Yes.
Steve Urkel is Infinity. This might be relevant for people who are in the league, but if you're not, don't worry about it. We'll just go with Steve Urkel today. Germ48 as Germ Buff. Season as Swole Season. And then we have Vlurbeer, Chiron, and Mr. Giggles on the roster for them. So the way this tournament is going to work is multiple stages. All of these matches in each stage are going to be happening simultaneously. We'll just be focusing on one match at a time, possibly hopping between just as the circumstances present themselves, but there are tons of other matches, exciting matches going on at this time. We'll be updating the live bracket on Challenge as the tournament goes on. This first match is between the number 8 and number 9 seeded teams. These teams in theory, should be pretty close to each other in terms of expected skill, but that remains to be seen as we get ready to go into Launchpad, which is the map that all of these teams will be playing for this first round. I think Raiders giving the thumbs up that WNNN is ready to go.
All right. Yeah, this is exciting. Hey, let's just remind everybody here before this game starts that this tournament is only possible because we have, as you can see on the link down below, the Ko-Fi/Dash League, as well as the brand new super cool merch store. Woo! Woo! Oh yeah, get your team merch. Every major team you've seen in Dash League, I think every current team and every major team of the past, you can get your own merch. You can get just Dash League merch. Get a nice cup of coffee in your Dash League branded cup. You know, if you have a team, you've been playing for a team, you've been winning on a team, and you want to show it off to your friends, family that like, hey, you know, I'm a real gamer. Like, they can't say no. They can't say no. All right, we're getting into this launch pad. Everything is looking good so far.
I'm gonna start with the POV on the cart over in the lower right and see the setup for WNNN, who are going to be defending as the team in red. First 3 seconds for map start. Crusher on it with that first dash, not going to allow that resource to be taken by Swole. Meanwhile, one person on the cart, and the fight in-house begins. It is always a mad dash around these tight angles to try and survive for just a couple seconds. You can have the moment to peek on the cart, but Crusher misses. 1 or 2 shotgun hits, that was crucial. The cart allowed to move, and Crusher had to get out of there so quick, but F2P following up does get 1, but there was a follow-up by Swole, who so far has been pretty good about focusing. But with F2P still alive, that is going to be a very difficult thing to try and get a handle on. F2P is crazy with the dashing. He's very good about focusing in on the cart when necessary, peeking in and out. And so Seasons being able to get that kill is very important, and now Swole begins to rocket forward with the momentum that they've gained.
Yeah, finally we see some actual cart movement here. F2 just doing an absolutely insane dash circle, and that's what you generally see is a circle of domination, of just like a circle of death that comes for the cart over and over and over again. But now we're seeing that they're at the top of the hill here. League average is bottom of the hill at 4 minutes. They have 50 seconds to make it. They have a very good front hold here with Sweezen. Good job. Swole Seasons pushing up really far. I think they're going to get punished for this, but one is still on the health. All right, now we can see Red finally gets a little bit of momentum that they can shut this cart down.
Gosh.
It's the first time the cart has been shut down since F2 had his crazy bend, and now we're finally, this is a huge ebb and flow back and forth of red to blue to red to blue. Usually you see things a little bit more even, kind of a little bit more of the middle ground, but it seems like both teams are just full of 5 players that love pushing up, taking space, and absolutely dominating in the front line.
Absolutely. I mean, you said it right there. Were you about to say something, Goose?
No, I was.
Oh, that was Lads. Okay, go ahead,
I would
Lads.
like to mention
no! Raider!
Tragic Raider. May the board member rest in peace. But my favorite part of this cast so far has been the logo with just the generic image icon next to it. I think it provides a level of ambiance. But continue with your commentary.
Well, that was earlier. I was going to harp on that. I love how much effort goes into the logos for so many of the teams in this league, and that's what makes the merch store so exciting for me. Is not just everybody being able to see these cool logos from a variety of teams that they respect or their own team, but really just seeing your own stuff in reality more than just the virtual space. It can be really gratifying and fulfilling. I mean, I've got my own Luke sweatshirt that I'm wearing right now, and I'm loving it. But meanwhile, back to the game. I'm harping a little bit too much on that Whopper. Meanwhile, clicking heads, just almost completely clearing that cart on his own. Chiron able to end that streak, but Crusher following up. Seems like Swole did make it to the bottom of the hill at a decent time, but F2PB bringing out the always unexpected shields, and yet they are always so effective if you can get somebody on your team willing and able to bring those to bear, and you have a Rocketeer or a couple Disruptors able to follow up and get the kills that shield players typically can't. And you can hold the cart for a long time, but Blurber doing numbers for his team. Good rockets by Raider, though.
Finally. See, this is the combo that I like seeing. This is where shields really start to shine, is when you have a Rocketeer to back them up. The shield player is basically just a huge beacon saying, hey, look at me, don't look at anything else, and don't look at that rocket that is
especially
right
don't
for
look
us.
at the Rocketeer. Always the Rocketeer's, like, the biggest bane is somebody getting in their face, as so many of these Swole players are trying to do, because Raider keeps hitting that cart. But as long as there's this huge yellow beacon on the cart standing right in front of them, it's also tempting to try and go after them instead, and that's when the rockets really get you. As we see just there, F2P survives that whole fight, and Raider has plenty of time to rocket the cart and get 3 kills. Now back up for some health while the rest of his teammates follow through.
Really good timing to get that health too. He knows that blue is wiped. He knows that he has a few seconds. As you can see here, they're just kind of all collecting themselves. Interesting that red was taking so much space before.
Whoa!
Oh, and now they're not.
Steve Urkel
leaving
on the cart.
Steve Urkel.
Did I do that?
Whopper finally clearing cart. You know what? For such an amazing flank, there wasn't as much cart movement as I would have hoped there. I mean, there was more than 0, which is more than they've been getting. But you definitely see that Whopper absolutely just cleared house there, and is now able to get some really nice movement. F2.
Good shield, still alive. And he gets the kill.
Wow.
Chiron takes him out. Cart moving. Desperately, these WNNN players are realizing they can hold this cart pre-checkpoint with a really good hold, but this last push by Swole is probably going to bring it in, and there we go. That is a checkpoint.
A 1-minute checkpoint. That's pretty good. That's a pretty good pace to have 1 additional minute to try to make it to 100% here. This is probably the hardest map in the game to make it to 100%, so you definitely need all the time that you can get.
Whopper in the back line, looking for a chance to grab that help. Does get it. Is a respawning player going to stop him? Yes, Seasons, the perfect man for the job, ends that possible flank before it can really begin. And now the Swole players are just trying to gain that forward momentum, pull attention away from the cart. But Blurber just in the wrong place at the wrong time on that cart. You need to be hugging that forward shield, or else a player like Raider is going to get that flank on you and take you out. Raider still alive, but losing health steadily. Dave eventually ends that streak. Respawn advantage for Blue at this early part makes it hard for any serious disruption to hang on for a long time, unless you've got some player like F2P who can just seem to survive to infinity and beyond.
Yeah, no kidding.
And as I say that, Dave takes him out immediately. Cart continuing to roll forward.
We're seeing, like you said, some really good movement here. I wish we were seeing a little bit more of these kind of group pushes on the red side. We're seeing a lot of just kind of randomly going in any direction. And you know what? That definitely can work, and it has dominated in the league past. But right now, it is not working. Sometimes when something isn't working, you kind of have to call it out and change things up. We're seeing Dave doing a little bit of disruption here, missing pretty much every shot on that guy. Crusher here with some dash is going to maybe get a flank on cart here, or he's just going to sit in shield room because the cart is rolling. There we go, 1 kill. Some very interesting decisions, not shutting this cart down. I think they kind of want them to make it to the top of the hill here and then get a really nice goal. Once you see cart make it to the top of the hill, that's where you're like, okay, like the red team, it gets serious. You know, we really can start holding things down.
Because that respawn advantage changes, and it's now pretty much even at about this point in the map. The time it takes for Blue to get there through their second fastest route, and the time it takes Red to get there through Triangle, which Blue is flooding like mad lads currently, is about even. Raider gets a flank on the cart, gets a kill. That's going to start the momentum, the flow of players through that triangle, and gives Red the opening to take this back. Naruto preventing all this rail riding. You can't ride the rails through this point if you don't have control of a forward position to prevent these Red players from flanking you and getting easy kills like we see here. Good trade by Steve Urkel. I'm never gonna not laugh at that man. And we saw on the bottom right a little bit of cart movement continuing forward. I think the momentum is in Swoll's favor right now. A bit of a natural group up here. Is that going to be stopped by Crusher? No. Steve Urkel goes for the health. He knows he's half. He's got to move that cart. What is he doing? Does he have a teammate on there? Okay, he does. He does. It can be hard to see from these close-up POVs if something else is going on. But when you're right there at the cart, you need to just get that movement and hope that your teammates can follow you up. Everybody focusing on that objective is what matters the most. Red can have some advantage for not really needing to be on the cart too much to still get their job done. Blue, meanwhile, has one singular direction to go. Oh, the flank out of F2P with Raider dealing the dashes and the movement and attention from the players that would be riding the cart are now having to go for him, and F2P is going to set up with double shocks, low health as well. He knows that his weapon pickups that he has now are valuable, and he needs to play his life. And most importantly, he needs to make sure that his pickups are worth it. He pops on the cart just as his teammates took out those players. Now he has no dashes to get away, and Steve Urkel punishes him just at the wrong place at the wrong time. And the cart is moving. Just an unfortunate timing of push. Meanwhile, for Swoll, all of them are grouped up around the objective as the cart continues to rocket forward with 2 players stacked on. 1 goes down for each team. Still a double stack on the cart. Now cart has been cleared. And WNN has the hold once again, but that was a great push by Swoll, who are now at about the standard point where most teams tend to get blocked up. But with 3 minutes on the clock, can they make it to this 100% mark? They might. What do you think?
It's possible. It's definitely possible. I mean, look, 3 minutes sounds like a lot of time, but it's really not, because 3 minutes, let's say you get a push every 30 seconds, you know, you need some serious momentum. You need at least like 3 or 4% on every push that you are getting, which is hard to pull off when the red spawn is right there. You're going to see these red guys are going to come over and over and over. They're just going to be flooding towards this cart. We see some really nice movement by Clearbear though. He's been doing some absolute numbers so far and taking out just pretty much anybody that gets in his way. We are finally seeing some red standing on cart, which I know we were seeing a little bit during the fight, but nothing preempting the fight like we're seeing now.
Oh my gosh, 3K, almost 4.
That was really close. Now he's given some room for his team to push up, which they are. They're riding cart right now, but Dave abandoning his teammate, it leaves him to kind of ride this cart alone. He gets taken out by Whopper. Kind of unsurprising based on the splitting right there. I think the 2 of them on cart together could have got some really nice hits. We're going to see this fight for control of triangle now, this kind of forward area. Whoever controls about 2 dashes ahead of cart at this point, wow, some really nice stoppage of cart, is going to get some crazy dominance, but I guess it doesn't matter. Oh my gosh. we're seeing a nasty, very back hold by red. So it's allowing blue to have a little bit of space. You can see on that mini-map, blue kind of just can walk their way over, which I think is going to make red here susceptible to a lot of pushes. Let's see if they can shut them down, though. We do see that there was no real movement that came out of that one guy on cart, but now we see 3 other blue teammates.
Oh my gosh, holy flank. Steve Urkel with the flank does get taken out by Whopper. A 2K for Whopper there. And now he decides that's his chance to move forward. You do get a dash with every kill for those who do not play this game. And that is why kills are so important, so emphasized. Why being aggressive in this game is so important and so emphasized, is you get to move more if you do better. If you get more kills, you become even harder to take out because you're all over the place. And you can see when you're out of dashes, when you're still like that, people like Swole Seasons who have been practicing their aim for quite a while can take you out nice and quick. Uzumaki setting up with the double SMGs, trying to watch those long sightlines, punish people taking too straightforward of a path towards the objective. Absolutely what you want to be seeing at this point in the map. But Steve Urkel with the flank, he is always at the flank, getting behind, making space for his teammates like Season to start pushing the cart. But that does not quite make it around the corner. 20 seconds to make it around the corner. That corner is so important because the shield on the front of the cart is going to protect you from the red team spawn, make reinforcing and stopping the cart so much more difficult. Red, well aware of that. Only 10 seconds left on the clock. Can Swole push in?
This is it. 5 seconds. They can get some overtime if they touch cart here in 2 seconds, which I'm not seeing anybody close to that cart. I don't know if they're going to get any overtime.
No OT.
88.65. So yeah, like you were mentioning earlier, 86% is kind of where 2 equal teams will both make it. So we do see that Swole made it ahead of what you would normally see an average team make it. So right now, WNNN has a lot of ground to cover. It's going to be hard for them. It's definitely going to be a high bar to try to make it to. Especially making this early checkpoint is so critical. And we're going to see this rollout of what they're doing. We're seeing a little bit of aim training, shooting at each other for everything. Going good for these guys. But we're going to see some crazy rollouts here pretty soon, I think. Like we saw earlier with F2P, blue team wiping out red in this early spot as soon as possible is absolutely critical to making it to checkpoint. And how long it takes them will determine the rest of the game. Okay, Whopper finally getting that kill. We are seeing that 3 red players are dead. If you look at the scoreboard, only Chiron and Clear Bear up alive, and the cart is rolling. The cart making much better time than it was when the sides were switched before, but we have only just started this map. We're seeing some really nice forward momentum by blue team here. Blue team did just lose the last of their forward momentum, though, and now red finally has the space to push up and try to take down this cart, which is double stacked. Every person who is on the cart makes it move 10% faster, so double and triple stacking definitely makes you go to that checkpoint faster, and I like that blue team knows that they're safe. They're safe for a little bit, so they stack it, but they maybe stacked it for too long, because as we see here, they weren't safe. Red team doing some absolutely dominant kills that are taking down this cart and everybody around it. This cart has absolutely just been stop and go and stop and go. We see a triple stack on blue team taking the fights on the cart. I love that. I love that. It means it's rolling super fast while you're getting kills. That is like kill 2 birds with 1 stone. Now we're seeing they're at the top of the hill, 4 minutes 50 seconds, the exact same time that it was when the sides were swapped.
All of these red players from Swole are managing to get behind the cart, and yet that is not stopping WNNN's focus on the objective. So important. Finally, rockets get up for Swole, and I think that's been a big factor in why WNNN has felt comfortable stacking on this objective for so long, is not just players getting behind, but being able to fight them while they're in the backline. But more importantly, that there's no explosives punishing them. It takes a bullet going through every single one of your players to take out a cart, rather with a rocket, just one hit can take out your whole team if they're all on there. You can see Dope Dave hitting multiple different players and therefore getting no kills where one Rocketeer would have done the job. The rockets go down because of Whopper and his teammate trying to hold forward in front of that objective, not let any of these red players on Swole sneak behind. The cart does finally go down. I think this is the first time the cart has seriously been stopped at this point. WNNN's push. What's up, Les?
I'd like to report that the first game has ended. Gang takes the W over Viking.
Wow.
Congratulations to Gang. First game already over, and we are just a little over halfway through this one. This one has been back and forth and back and forth, but of course Laz is going to continue to report report the match results for other matches as we continue here. Good Rockets out of seasons, but only one hit until he's dead. He can't afford to back up. He needs to draw some attention. Good
really
kill by
nice
Crusher.
Push. Really nice push. We're actually seeing the cart is pretty far ahead of where it was when the sides were swapped. So we are seeing that WNNN at least is having a slightly better blue side right now, because we did see those amazing rockets coming out of red team, which Crusher is just absolutely dominating them. This is a huge push. This could be a checkpoint push.
Oh,
if it wasn't for Steve Urkel.
Steve Urkel, the GOAT!
Steve Urkel. Steve Urkel.
Did I do that?
Good rockets onto the cart. What I really like about his positioning here is how much emphasis there is on the survivability. He's still able to consistently hit that objective, but we saw with his position on the low ground that he was ducking behind cover and allowing the rockets to curve onto the cart at the same time. He wasn't shooting towards the objective and then waiting until they hit and then backing up or anything like that. He's going for minimum amount of exposure in order to hit that objective, so the enemy has to spend as many resources as possible going for him. And just as the opponent turns away because he goes, oh, the Rocketeer is hiding from me now, he pops back in. I really like these rockets out of Steve Urkel. Unfortunately, not enough stacking out of the team in red.
A full minute ahead of where the other team was. Remember, they got 1 additional minute. You get 6 minutes of checkpoint. So last team was at 6 minutes, or 7 minutes, excuse me, when they made checkpoint. This one is at 8. Oh, 1 whole additional minute. That is huge. That is absolutely huge. If they take good advantage of this, which Steve Urkel might not let them.
Steve Urkel, the GOAT. No, he goes down.
Rest in peace. Rest in peace. The first half of the game definitely seems like it's in WNN's favor, but anything is possible. Swole definitely could put their game face on here for this red side. We were seeing the lack of rockets at that checkpoint, but now that we're post-checkpoint, rockets are a lot less important, and rockets are really what came to WNN's favor. So now they kind of need to pick it up on the just normal kills, pistol fighting, to try and make it past that 88% that we saw the other team make it. 1 minute has passed. We are making some pretty good time.
Yeah, definitely. Especially with all of the cart stacking that WNN is doing. They're trying to maximize their momentum every time they can. Rather than going for some consistency, they know that their consistency could be stopped at any moment if Swole manages to get their act together and get a very good hold or a very good flank, as they've been wont to do throughout this entire match. Chiron taking out multiple players. That streak is ended by Raider, and nobody else on red team able to follow up and stop that cart. So we're back to neutral with Raider desperately playing for his life on cart. That life is ended, but now the Rockets almost go down. Season's dodging out of the way. Crusher with the flank takes out the Rockets. The cart should be able to move mostly for free if WNNN is able to win this fight, which they are not quite able to do. I like also all of this desperately pushing towards the cart when there's only one player alive for each team. It forces players like Chiron, who were about to go on a flanking streak, to turn back because there's nobody else on their team able to stop that cart from moving. And therefore, even if Chiron gets that kill on the cart, stops the cart from moving, the rest of Team WNNN is able to follow up, group up, and move forward as a unit. That makes the rest of Swole's follow-up on the defense that much more difficult. And now the cart is held once again. Can Swole keep up this momentum that they've just barely started to get?
Nice kill on the Rockets there. Hey, that's my time. I gotta go warm up for my matches. Determined. If you still can.
Good luck. Good luck.
Absolutely crazy match.
Whoa! F2P with the double kill there. Whopper following up on the objective. Once again, I can't emphasize enough just how important it is to stay focused on that objective. WNNN is doing so well because all of their players are ready and willing to hop on cart and in positions to do so at a moment's notice, constantly hopping on that objective. And clearly they have some sort of discussion beforehand about how to do group ups in a way that Swole was just not able to get done on their side. The momentum is looking strongly in favor of WNNN. They've taken out those rockets as well. Pretty much all of them are alive on the cart. A double stack with one player moving forward to try and hold the triangle. Another one flanking behind. Make sure that cart can move forward. A triple stack too. The cart moving forward. Swole Season gets a flank, but that gets stopped. Only one player versus two. Usually that two is going to win that fight. And Crusher following up behind. All of this free rail riding for the team in blue is allowing them to get to the cart quicker than Swole would expect. 88%, 88.63% I believe is what Swole managed to get. We are just 4% away from that mark, from WNNN taking that map, this map and this round against Swole with 4 minutes, more than 4 minutes in fact, left on the clock for that to happen. Swole needs to change something drastically, get a nasty hold in front of the triangle room, which they're trying to do now. If they want to prevent that, they basically just have to stop WNNN from getting a group up like they're doing right now. And with a couple kills for the team in blue, the group is moving forward. Pretty much all of WNNN managed to survive that push. The cart is rocketing forward, a triple stack, and 2 shields on the cart as well. Near impossible to kill without some explosives. Uzumaki from the back line from downtown pops in, tries to get a couple more percent of push. We are 1.5% away from WNNN taking this map. And meanwhile, the fight in front of Triangle continues. The fight down main rail continues. Dave going for some bounce shots, but it is all but over for Swole at this point. 3 minutes on the clock. Something truly magical needs to happen if they're going to have a chance to take this map. But clearly, WNNN for today just seeming to be the better organized, better performing team between these two, and the most likely contender to continue on. That said, the time is ticking, and I haven't seen a blue team member on the cart in about a minute. It feels like, at least, in a couple pushes. These last couple pushes have been stopped. Were you about to say something?
No, I was about to agree with you that they haven't gotten much movement right now, but they've got so much time left that it's almost null.
Yeah. I like all this cart stacking. I think red team is missing out on that just a little bit, although it can be hard to stack cart when the group pushes out of Team Blue are so well done. You can see also in that moment with F2P and his push onto the cart, even with a shield, how important it can be for the cart to try and turn that corner, for the shield to protect you from the red team spawn, because otherwise you can get pretty easily taken out from the respawning red players. It's like the time to get back to cart doesn't even account for moving out of spawn. You can peek from spawn and get those kills. I like F2P with the explosives though. That is going to allow for just a brief moment of cart clear for free, assuming red team is doing what they should be doing for the most part, is stacking cart. You basically get to block that off and stay in the back lines, allow your teammates to run forward and get some movement. Cart continuing to move forward. No red players able to stack it. F2P follows up, but Vlurber able to stop him just in time. Whopper with the follow-up. Is he going to win this map for WNNN? Yes, he is. That is a victory for WNNN. Congratulations to them. Okay, I think that is that for this match. We'll go ahead and move on to another one in just a moment, but we can take a look at the scores here.
All right, so we've got Chiron, 74 kills, 76 deaths. Top of WNNN, we've got Whopper with 83 kills, 70 deaths. Looks like F2P with the most kills at 89. Completely outstanding. That is awesome.
Very, very well done.
All right. All right, well, we are back in the lobby. Let's find the...
who won, by the way? I'm putting scorecards.
That's WNNN has won.
Okay. So we have all of our next lineup set up. Gollum, were you evens or was I evens?
You're evens. I'm odds.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, no worries. At this point, we're basically just waiting. There is a 5-minute buffer period in between the maps. We're just waiting for all the next lobbies to get set up. And
we may run a little over as we're trying to keep up.
Do we want to drop the merch code? I don't think we've done that yet.
Absolutely. Go for it, Goose. It's all you for the next 5 minutes. Go for it.
All right. So, are you ready to get 10% off your entire order from the merch store? The code is -league, all in caps, 10%. That's the code you type in when you're checking out, and you'll get 10% off your entire order. So that'll be fun. And to celebrate, I've got a little ad that I'm going to play for you. Here we go. right, yeah. So if you want any of that cool looking merch with your team logo on it, we've got some legacy teams on there. We've got some championship merch. We've got all the DL merch you would ever want. There's even DL shoes. Like, you can get shoes that you walk around with the DL logo on it. That's awesome. So Dash League 10% is your code to get 10% off. And also, we've got the Ko-Fi right down here. So if you donate to that, it will pop up on the screen. Am I missing anything? I think we've covered.
No, you got it all covered, man.
Nice. Do it live. Which game should we look at next?
We're taking a look. We're gonna see which lobby goes up first. Who are going to be the lucky ones to start this next match?
You should bring up the lovely bracket that I am updating.
Yeah, bring up the challenge. I mean, we've got the time, we've got the next map on it, and everything like that.
Oh, okay. Hold on. That's not the bracket. Give me 1 second to fix this. It is showing the YouTube.
Just a slight. That's all right. And
yeah.
I didn't even, to be honest, I didn't know you could add times, details to each stage of the challenge bracket until this one, until Laz.
There we go.
So helpfully set it up. So this is the winners part of the bracket. This is a double elimination tournament. However, so all of the teams who lost in this first round still have a chance to
you can take a look at the losers bracket. Space Goose is going to scroll down a bit.
And all the
okay, let me see. Is this displaying correctly?
Yes.
Yeah, there it is. Great.
Down just right. You can see Viking, Metal, and then Riot and Emmerd are going at it in the losers bracket. Swole and Jester getting a bye for this first round. So all 4 of the teams in the winners bracket who win are going to continue to stay in the winners. But the 4 teams who lose in the winners bracket still have a chance to stay in it here. But nobody's going to be taken out of the running right away just yet. What an exciting way to start this match. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and get the password for... What is that? That is the Goof Troops versus Pew. I feel like that's going to be an exciting match.
Yes. And if you want to just DM that password to me.
Yeah. There you go.
All right. Just give me 2 seconds to get this up and running.
Cool. We could also take a look at Gang versus HIAF. I think they're going to start soon anyways.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's saying it's not the correct password.
Oh.
Well, then we'll go to the other one.
All right. The love of doing live streams like this. Sometimes we get some hang-ups.
It is what it is. I mean, it is a live tournament after all, with a quick turnover between maps. I'm sure the players are excited because this, of all games, this is the quickest turnover type of game I've ever played.
Oh yeah.
The most fast-paced. You could say ADHD friendly if you wanted. Great for people wanting to play fast and go quick. And I think a lot of these teams are chomping at the bit to get going for this next match. So,
Okay, is that Calamity going under a different name?
Lobby Minister, I think.
Okay.
there you go.
I think.
Yes, there it is.
Okay.
People aliasing. Ugh.
Right. Minister. Okay. All right. This is another one of those teams. That's no Steve Urkel in this one though.
That's by far the best name of the tournament, right? We're not gonna get a better
Yeah.
one.
I mean, vote in the comments who you think your favorite name was so far, but that's my top pick.
And then, just so you know, Goose, I have my stream up for another match.
Oh, awesome. Okay. Quick second here. My drone does not seem to be working, so now I got to reset that.
That's all right. So
We're doing it live.
We're doing it live. So while we're at it, once again, I'm going to repeat the code for the merch store. You can get onto the merch store right now. This code is available for this weekend only. 10% off your entire order. Dash League 10% at checkout. Once again, that is all caps. Dash League 10%. The percent symbol at the end. Let's be clear about that. Dash League 10% for 10% off your entire order on the merch store for this weekend only. As well, if you want to support us on Ko-Fi, you can click the link in the description. It is the same as what you see on screen, and your donation will show here on the stream, and we very much appreciate any donation we can get. So, Gang versus High AF on Waterway. This round's maps are Waterway. Apology in the bottom of High AF's side of the map is going to try and swap the momentum around. It's a countdown for Gang, a quick counter by Humbles, and Celeste Saint going to be finishing that off. We can see on High AF, who is the team in blue, Mr. Soap, Celeste Saint, Humbles, Snarples, and Toshiro. Meanwhile for Gang, countdown for High AF. Wait a second, is this going to be a point? No. Okay. I'm going to go back to reading the rosters. Wait, another countdown for High AF. I don't know if I'm going to have to wait until the countdown stops. High AF with another countdown. Gang barely countering that at both sides of the map. A countdown again for High AF. Celeste Saint still hopping ahead, staying alive, just barely can end that streak. Finally, I can read the rosters for Gang, which is Grass, Apology, Triangle, Can, and Minister. A countdown for Gang. That streak is ended. High AF with just C. Gang, meanwhile, has their own base, and B, the middle point on this map. You will see, for those uninitiated to Dash League, this is a very different game mode from the payloads that you just saw. This is not only fast-paced in terms of how open this map is, but also the game type. You need to control all three buttons for 5 seconds. You see that countdown at the top, with Gang getting the most recent one. If you control for 5 seconds, you get a point. First to 3 points wins the map, or the most points at the end of the 25 minutes that this map allows for will win the map. So that said, going forward, looking at the scoreboards here, Celeste Saint 11 in 5, going crazy with the kills, a full 2 KD, and that is ever increasing. But in the meantime, Gang not letting up, nobody quite matching up to Celeste Saint in terms of killing ability, and yet their whole team's kill spread is pretty evenly distributed. A lot of them are in the base. High AF and a countdown for Gang, barely countered right at the last millisecond. Oh my goodness. High AF hanging on by a thread. I think Gang might end up being the first team to score a point if they can keep up this momentum, and if High AF does not adapt to the way they've been popping in and out. What's up, Les?
We have a game score for the second round already.
Oh wow. What
D for Waterway. D takes the W over We Need No Name.
Yeah, that's for those who don't know, D, historically the most dominant team in the league, already winning that first map. We might get Willow in here in just a minute. We'll have to wait and see. But Waterway is such a quick map. If the counters are not going through, which we can see have been happening between Gang and High AF constantly, counter after counter after counter, despite all of the countdowns. Oh, Can, the caster's curse falling into the abyss, into the water, does go down. But a lot, like I was saying, a lot of countdowns for Gang so far during this map. A lot of counters out of High AF, but really they are hanging on by a thread. They need to change the momentum. Snarples might just be the man to do it, popping up into that top ground area of Gang's base. Is going to pull a couple of those red players back, pull their attention back, and just cause a little bit of a ruckus, bouncing between all the guns. Gets that help. Does get taken out a couple, too many Gang members surviving back in their base. Looking at those scoreboards, some of Celeste Saint's teammates have really caught up to him with kills, but also Apology over on Gang, doing very well for himself. Just a couple of Toshiro do get the counter there. And High AF continues to hang on as we rocket past the 4-minute mark. Still 20 minutes and 30 seconds left in this match. Plenty of time for mistakes to be made. Very often, two teams teams are even if there's a ton of countdowns and counters like you see here, things will go back and forth until one team just happens to make a mistake at one point or another. It's just poking and prodding until that mistake becomes obvious, and then seizing that opportunity as soon as you are able. Can controlling that bottom B area, rolling forward into high AF space, and going for all of the pickups he can possibly get. He's not get a chance to stay on that dash like he would have liked to, and instead has to go for button because of the respawning play for high AF. Both players reloading at the same time. Grass does end up in the school and winning that fight. Go ahead, Les.
Apparently the music is very loud.
Oh,
Is it?
That is what I'm hearing from the comments.
Okay. Well, we can adjust that in a minute. But anyways, I'm going to keep commentating over this because Snarples rolling through the bottom B is going to try and protect his base, but loses sight of Minister, who hits him from behind with the guns, his pistols. I don't really see a lot of players using pickups. I mean, that's pretty par for the course in the higher tiers of this map. Just the cost and time investment it takes to pick up any heavy weapon usually is not worth it unless somebody is particularly skilled. The most common ones will be the shocks and the snipers, but very often teams are just going to have a policy of try and rocket forward as fast as you can, keep the pressure on, don't give the opponents time to breathe, because otherwise that is how they're going to put the pressure back onto you, like Gang has been doing so well throughout most of this match. But High AF finally starting to adapt to the pressure, get a hold on their own base, get some countdowns of their own. Only 3 Gang players left alive. They do get the counter, and a further countdown with only Grass left alive for Gang. This might be it. Gang, Grass goes for B. The too many players alive on B. High AF gets the first point after that insane momentum and number of countdowns, one after another, that Gang had at the beginning of this map. High AF have seemed to adapt and figured something out. Gang now has the pressure on them to change their strategy, their approach in some small ways and some tweaks here and there based on rollouts from specific players, or who they expect to be where, and who they need to be where, in order to change things back into their favor. Quick countdown for Gang. Only Zelast left alive, and he misses a dash. Now it is 1-1. Gang, with the much superior opener here, clearly seems to have had something strategic in mind there, figured something out for the opener. I think High AF is going to be more of a mid-round type of team. Really, they figure something out with a bit more time. If Gang can get that initial pressure on, they might get another quick point. So Last Saint not going to be missing that initial dash there. Gets 2 kills, soon to be 3 possibly. No, Triangle ends that streak, grabs some health, allows his teammate to move forward, is going to slow roll it towards B, try and follow up, allow his teammates to get the countdown, dances around that button with Can following up. High AF does get the counter in their own base though. No second point for Gang just yet. Mr. Soap rolling up through the basement of blue team, has to consider whether he's going to be holding onto the B button and countering here with his low health, or if he's going to go below B. He does get that counter, allows his team to respawn, and Gang gets another countdown. Just like before the first point was scored by High AF, we see Gang with a lot of countdowns in a row, really able to keep the pressure on in a way that High AF just can't quite seem to adapt to, but give it time, and High AF might be able to turn things around. I think this is a situation where a couple good opportunities for High AF in a row can really destroy Gang's defense. Meanwhile, Gang seems to be of the policy that the best defense is a good offense. They have been all about the moving forward. None of the reservation staying behind. Mr. Soap deciding to turn around onto B. A bit of an unexpected move. Often you expect a player that's starting to move forward to just continue to move forward through the map, but Mr. Soap making it work, turning around to help control B. Gets that kill on Apology, now has the opportunity to go for some health. If it respawns in time, he has 1 health, he grabs it and turns back towards the B button just in time for the fight. He's taken out for the fight. Gang with another countdown, but High AF players respawning, just Snarples and Humbles. Now the rest of the team blue respawning pretty comfortably, I think, going to be able to get this counter right. Okay, they're countering on B, they're countering on their own base, they're countering on B. Most of Gang is in High AF's base, and Grass not getting that kill pretty important. High F comfortably going to have control of B. Just needs to either skip past these players in red that are all bouncing around throughout High F's base, or if they don't have any dashes and they're stuck in a position, those red players are pretty easy pickings at this skill level of play. Grass moving forward through the high rail, gets a kill on Toshiro there. Now is going to be waiting for a pick. We're trying to take that pick up and lock it down so that none of the high F players have an easy route to a counter there. The rest of gang following up. Will high F be able to sneak a player past towards B, or will they just stop the gang momentum in their own base? Is there going to be a B counter? No, a counter on their own base. There wasn't any double hold on the button. The rest of high F able to respawn. Mr. Soap going for a more defensive play here. IF has just struggled to get anybody into gang's base. As soon as they get one or two players there, I think the tides are going to completely change, just like they did before the first point, but we have yet to get that sort of momentum for the team in blue. Gang really has figured something out here, trying to keep the pressure on and prevent any players in blue from turning around or getting past that front line, that continuous wave of red moving forward. High F getting a countdown. Clearly they got somebody into gang's base, but gang able to get it back. Now just needs that B button as they have several players alive. Well, now one player alive seemingly in High F's base. Can survive the gauntlet. Does he even know that he's alone in that base? And now he's gone. High AF with momentum in their favor. Still has one player you can see in the bottom left, number 7 on the minimap, starting to make a move. Can High AF get the B button? A countdown for High AF. 2 players now in gang space. Nobody else on gang able to move forward. They just need to get that countdown. So Last Saint with a couple good kills in a row. Can he live? No. Apology takes him out. Gang now has the momentum back in their favor despite the fight going on in gang space. No! Now there's just 2 players. Now just 1 player. Okay, 2 players, 3 players. Okay. Oh my goodness.
Wow.
I was worried for a second there.
Yeah, it was close.
For High AF. Once again, Apology grabbing that dash, moving forward onto the B button, taken out by Humbles, who grabs the B and is going to be playing a little bit more reserved, a little more defensive. I think High F, for better or for worse, is taking the policy of trying to prevent anybody sneaking past them. Meanwhile, gang strategy is if they sneak past them, then the next person to respawn, even if that ends up being me, is going to be the one to take them out. Do not turn around. Always look forward. And clearly, that seems to be working out differently and pretty well in their own ways for each team. But gang, with the momentum once again, is going to be a little bit better, I think, about maintaining momentum once they have it. Whereas a team like High AF, who seems to be playing a little bit slower, a little bit more in burst and relying on their high accuracy and skill and trying to prevent players in red from sneaking past them, is going to be struggling to keep momentum once they get it. Because they're going to be putting more emphasis on preventing the opponent from getting momentum back, rather than keeping what they already have. Countdown for High AF. Good dashes out of Toshiro as well. Plenty of blue players in the base of gang, but still, no point for High AF. Now only 1 player alive in gang's base, and several red players left alive. Toshiro holding down that B button, but he's low on health. I think 1 shot to the body would take him out, so he has to take a moment, grab that health. Is he going to roll forward? No. Triangle takes him out from the rail. And the momentum, once again, back in gang's favor. Back to staying as offensive as possible. I think if High AF just played a little bit more aggressive, counterintuitively, they might find some more success. This is something that's kind of difficult to find a balance in with this map of all things, is sometimes the best defense is a good offense. Gang, well aware of that fact. High AF just has these moments of playing just a little bit more cautiously, a little bit more like a payload, where you're trying to stay in this one location, prevent anybody from getting behind you, because you know the respawn is going to be far away. The respawn on this map is not far at all, especially when you're in their base like Mr. Soap is. Only 2 players for gang left alive, and they're out of position. A countdown for High AF just as I was ragging on them. High AF 2-1.
Wow.
Only 1 more point for the team in blue, and they will take the map. Go ahead, Laz.
Lumbo, could you check your DMs?
I will check my DMs right now.
All right. High AF 2-1 over gang. Let's see if they can complete.
in.
We've got Mr. Soap pushing up.
Go ahead, Goose.
Oh, I was just covering. Snarple's sitting
now,
back and
trying to defend his own base. Oh, I was starting at the here. I'm just gonna go continue with this. Snarple's bottom rail going to roll out into Gang space. A countdown for Gang. The pressure is on for Snarples to try and get something done. He is low on health, but does manage to make it out of there just in time to make Can and several other Gang players turn around. Momentum back to a little bit more of a neutral place. Gang getting some countdowns, but several blue players left alive for them. And it's the last Saint getting several long-range kills, trying to make room for his teammates to follow up, but they are just not able to. Gang, with the back and forth on B, finally going to get that momentum in their favor.
Red team scores.
Mr. Soap rolling out to be a countdown for Gang, but he's just in the right position to get that counter. I think Can got a kill there, perhaps. Gang with another countdown, not going to turn into a point. Too many blue players left alive. Apology now. Going to be trying and taking some resources. All of his teammates take their dash. Plenty of Gang players on B, but just enough high AF players respawning to get their own base back. Once again, this is going to be a difficult fight, and if any blue players sneak past like they did just now, Gang is going to have a hard time actually holding this base because there's not enough players in red respawning. Plenty of great movement and head ducking out of Apology. Very difficult to get those quick headshots that you need to quickly clear out your base with how fast these players are moving and dashing around the map. Snarples through the bottom rail and holding on to B, moving forward slowly but surely, charging up those dashes for a quick burst to move into the base. Does stay on the rail for just a bit too long. Minister able to take him out. And now Can rolling through the top rail. Mr. Soap ends his streak before it can even begin. Very defensive out of Mr. Soap, but excellently done. He's gotten a couple kills. He's now able to roll out into the base, just trying to be a nuisance, steal resources, grabs that top button, grabs that bottom dash, not able to survive enough to continue living throughout the red team's base. The streak has ended. Brass rolling out through the bottom rail, grabs bottom dash, bottom health, hops up to the top of High F space, instantly taken out by Mr. Soap, the defensive king. Once again, Minister now clearing out the top of B along with his teammates, trying to make some space and hold off that last High F player, trying to roll out and grab B once again. Gang pretty good with the defensive plays while continuing to roll forward, trying to prevent High AF from getting a presence on B, and yet at the same time they sacrifice their presence on B. There's only so much they can do. High AF really putting a huge emphasis on holding B. Meanwhile, Gang with the exact opposite sort of strategy here, attempt at focus towards skipping B entirely, letting High AF get it, and then hopefully taking them out from behind, or just seizing the right opportunity with a respawning player to steal B from them just long enough to get a countdown. Very different strategies here, but it has been way more back and forth on this point than it has at any other previous point of the match. Countdown for Gang. Several High F players left alive, 6 minutes on the clock. If Gang does not get a point within the 6.5 minutes, High F is going to win the match. But if they do manage to tie it up, it could go into overtime. And I'll explain overtime when we get to it. If we get to it, that's always an exciting opportunity, but we'll just have to wait and see, because all it takes is one moment, one mistake out of your whole team, and a point will be scored. One way or the other. It's always about seizing that opportunity for that one moment where things work especially well for you, or especially unwell for your opponents. That is when the point is scored. Only has to happen 3 times on the whole map for your team to win. Countdown for Gang. 3 High F players left alive. Nobody holding that button though. Triangle is basically dead to rights at this point with only 1 health. Toshiro eventually taking them out, but the rest of Gang following up. No presence on B though. Like I was saying, they're skipping past B and High AF. Meanwhile, focusing B as much as they possibly can, and using that as a launch pad to move forward towards the red team's base. Grass going to be grabbing this dash. We'll see his rollout here through the mid rail, trying to take an off angle to get that easy kill on B. Grabs the health. Now going to go for the mid rail. There's going to be some blue players waiting for him. They saw him moving through. Can he grab a health in time? No. So Last Saint ends that streak before he manages to get into the blue team's base.
Blue takes A. Red takes C. Blue takes C.
We've got Toshiro pushing up towards B, securing it. Oh!
Red takes A.
Toshiro continuing
Blue takes A.
to cover B, waiting for his teammates to push up.
Red takes A.
And they do, so he goes towards C,
Takes A.
securing his own base.
Blue takes
Sprints over there, grabs the button.
countered.
Countdown from Gang quickly countered by Toshiro.
Blue takes B.
Secures B. Oh, it gets taken out by Apology, and we have a countdown from Gang and countered at B. There are 3 up for High AF, and that's another point for Gang, and they tie it up. Wow. We've got ourselves a game with 4 minutes left. And here we go with match point. Minister taking some shots from the top of their base. Going down on this bottom rail, up to mid B.
Blue takes B.
Takes some damage. Goes
Red
to-
takes B.
That's their teammate grab B. Now it's pushing up this top rail. Ooh, almost gets taken out. Goes down. Gets into a fight with the Last Saint.
Apparently Golem's left offside, by the way.
Blue takes C.
We'll figure out what's going on with Gollum after this.
Blue team scores in counter. Blue team scores in 3.
Is this going to be it?
Scores in
Only 2 up for Gang. And they secure it. Had a nice little trade there on B.
team scores in 3. Countered. Blue takes B. Red takes B.
Toshiro now pushing into B, grabbing it. Oh, gets taken out by Minister. Pistol sniping from their base. Minister pushes up, but gets taken out by Humbles. Humbles now grabbing B,
Red team scores in 3.
grabbing health.
Red team scores in counter.
Oh, poor Minister there.
Blue takes A.
Humbles grabs A. Oh, taking out Apology from the back, but gets taken out by Minister. Minister grabs the button, securing the... Oh, and gets taken out by Sniper. There's so much going on.
Blue team scores in 3. Countered.
Toshiro now securing the
Blue
button.
teams countered. Blue teams countered. Blue takes C. Blue team
High AF is getting some nice
countered.
countdowns, but is unable to secure that last point to win.
Man, oh man.
Hey, there's Gollum.
Oh, Golem. You're,
Scores in
Ran
You're in
out
the
of
Matrix right
power,
now, brother.
Believe it or not.
countered.
Oh boy.
you
And
hear that?
now someone
Wow.
Blue countered.
Yeah.
be taking that out.
You sound like a
Here
high-pitched
you are.
Terminator.
Red takes B.
Snarples, we cannot... Or, why did I say Snarples? Not Gollum.
Yeah.
I was looking at Snarples. Can't hear you very well. You sound like a robot to me.
Blue team scores
Do I
countered.
do I sound bad?
Oh, now it is. Now it's fine.
Red
Okay,
takes
good,
A.
good.
Blue takes
1
B.
minute left on the clock, 59 seconds left on the clock, and Gang did get a point while I was on my hiatus, plugging in a different laptop and getting that thing charged. Very exciting moment. Opportunity for an overtime. I'm going to go ahead and explain the rules of that just in case nothing ends up scored in these last few seconds. as the teams prep for overtime. Only the center button is going to be available, and whichever team gets that button is going to get the point. Of course, because there's only that center button, a countdown will begin as soon as either team hits it, and there are no respawns. No respawns at all. Countdown starts immediately, no respawns. You have one opportunity to score the center button and get the win. Countdown for High AF. Just 10 seconds left on the clock. Gang needs to hold on just long enough to get into overtime. High AF getting a countdown. 2 seconds left on the clock. And
Oh,
tied score
baby. Here we go.
into overtime.
Match starts in
So
3,
here we are.
2,
Sudden death.
1.
If you die, you are out. Get control of that center button. That's the only thing that matters. There's one player down per gang already due to the insane sniping abilities of the last Saint. But countdown starts for gang. High F going to counter it, transfer it back. 3 players on gang down. 1 for High F. Just Apology needs to get 4 kills to win. And High F gets the kill, gets the win for this match against gang. High AF is going to move forward. Congratulations to them.
Nice.
Very well done. Very exciting match. I'm glad we got to see that one.
Yes. Now let's get you
So-
over to your end scores.
It was high FUD wins. Hello?
Something I think is going on with my mic and headphone situation. So if you want to go ahead and read the end scores.
Yeah, absolutely. We got Grass
Great.
top scoring over on Gang with 61 kills, 67 deaths. Mr. Soap over on High AF with 56 kills, 56 deaths. Going even. We love that. We've got Z Last Saint, 94 kills. I think that was the top killer. It looks like everybody is hopping out of here, so we'll go ahead and take you back to your lobby.
I did you a favor, by the way, Golem, and I set up all the matches for the next round. Okay.
All right. Hopefully, when I join the next match, the drone doesn't go crazy like it just did.
That would be very cool.
Well, when I joined this last one, it just quit the game on me. I was like, oh, all right, cool. Fantastic. We're going to be doing this. Oh, man. Baron saying Z Last Saint the GOAT. Yeah.
You locked in.
Locked in.
Matches, man. This is great so far. I love to see all the passion and energy out of the teams in the middle of exciting close matches like this.
Oh, yeah.
Cat, oh my god, this cat.
What's the next match looking like?
It should be starting pretty soon. If you take a look
Okay.
at the bracket. But
And okay, let's go to. Oh,
hi Gollum. Are you on your phone
Okay. Okay. No. I'm back to the other
There
one.
we
I
go.
got the proper charger for it. It shouldn't be
Okay.
running. I don't think it's going to run out of power now. No power play from me. We're used to in-game power plays, but go ahead, Les.
now? Right. I set up all the games for next round for you, Gollum. So
Excellent.
just go pick which one you want.
You know, honestly, I want to see D versus High AF. We just saw some excellent gameplay out of High AF, but we heard how quickly that game with D versus WNNN went. Let's see what the number 1 seed has to
Yeah.
offer for this match.
Well,
Go
also,
ahead.
I think you've watched High for like the last 2 games. You want to get some different teams.
No. We watched WNN and Swole.
Oh, I lied to you. It was a funny
You're-
bit.
You're just
The drink has
silly
lied.
fibber. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, also, let's get that code one more time if you want to go spend some money in the merch store. Save 10% off by using Dash League 10%, all caps.
And of course, the 10%, the percent part is not the word percent.
Yes.
You just type the character. I'm sure some people are going to make that mistake, even though I emphasize it. But regardless, 10% percent mark. Dash League 10% on the merch store for 10% off your entire order this weekend only.
Yes, that is very important.
Mm-hmm.
Also, as it's scrolling across the bottom, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Your likes, your comments, your subscriptions go a long way into letting us achieve world domination.
Thank you. By the way, you might want to pin the message in chat.
Yes. Let's see if I can
Is
do
it all
that.
caps?
It is all caps, yes.
Okay.
Actually, can one of you do that? I don't have. I've got a different comment thing up here.
Laz, if you can go into it, I think you should have the ability.
I do not have the ability.
Oh,
Really?
no.
I'll do it. Don't worry about
Okay.
it.
My power level isn't high enough. I'm sorry.
All right. Well, how long do we have until the next match?
2 minutes ago.
All right.
But we're kind of starting to slag a little bit behind schedule, which is fine.
This is the last round of matches for this day, though, huh?
No, it is not. For winners, it is.
Oh,
Yeah,
for
we're going to
winners.
have some
For
loser
winners,
brackets
for
going
winners.
on next. And then what is the next map?
So for the winner side, it is Canyon, and for losers, it is Abyss.
All right. Let me get that all.
And so after this round, we're going to be going down to 2 matches per round. So
Oh. So we're going to be
keep
seeing
it-
some extra action. All right. So let me go ahead and get into this lobby if it's open. Hey, there we go. Yay, it worked. Okay.
Awesome.
It didn't crash this time. Oh, there they are. Okay. And this is D taking
Yes.
on
or taking on High AF, who we just saw in the last match. This is going to be on Canyon, another payload.
Yes.
nice.
And you want to know? You know what the prize for winning this match is?
What is the prize?
Not having to play the rest of the day. They will be in winners finals and can take a long, nice rest before tomorrow.
There they are, D in all their glory. Dark Moon, Rekko, Evil Pancake. Oh my gosh, we haven't seen those guys play in years.
And Willow's there.
And, and Willow. Oh man, this is gonna be great. And let's go over and check out who they are taking on. They are taking on High AF, which we just saw. We got Snarples, we've got Mr. Soap, we got Z Last Saint, we've got Enemus, and we've got Humbles.
We got Humbles. And then on my lovely stream, we have Riot versus We Need No Name.
Ooh, yeah, let's check in on that really quick.
Playing a lovely Abyss.
Yeah, there we go. There's the other game.
Yes. It seems like F2P has just embraced the shield, from my knowledge.
Looks like Dash Hole's pushing the cart like crazy. Jumps off a little bit. Oh,
Yes.
it's taken out by Whopper. And here we go with this game.
Prepare to start.
Oh, okay, and we're out. I'll let you know who wins between those two.
All right. Looks like Humbles is picking up some shotties. Oh my gosh, it's crazy seeing that D logo up there again.
The only team with a logo.
The only team with the logo, you're correct. And D making
there
some
we go. I just
great cart movement.
I like this moving forward out of D. HiAF putting up a pretty valiant start, but I think the momentum is heavily in D's favor at this point. Lots of HiAF players gathering around this open area past the blue team spawn, just trying to get any sort of stop here, but with players like Rekko and Evil Pancake in the front line, that is going to be a difficult ask. Lateralis flanking behind, does manage to get onto the cart, but Willow takes him out. The last Saint as well going down. Castle taking a high ground position above the objective here. And Lat going for a clear on cart. Willow once again does manage to be the last man standing in that encounter, and D continues to rocket forward. A good half health hit on the objective with those rockets. Some pretty good rockets. I'm not sure who's it looks like it's Humbles. Some excellent rocketeering, excellent survivability on the objective here. He is going to back up and grab a second pair of rockets. Now it's going to be a game of seeing, can any of these D players get into the back line and cause a ruckus such that Humbles is not able to get into these comfortable rocketeering positions and survive and be able to disengage as easily as he did just now. Good hit onto the objective. Willow had no chance of seeing where those rockets were coming from, and he's going to be blasting rockets down that main rail. Good blind hit on the objective as well out of Humbles. Humbles doing excellent with these rockets. Does not get spotted by the flanker on Team D, and continuing to hit that objective and peek in and out of corners. Good kill on cart, but Castle does end up taking those rockets, and that is the signal for D to start stacking the cart. A triple stack on cart as Castle continues to disrupt. The cart still moving forward. HiAF not able to get any stacking on here. And Humbles back up once again with a good double kill with a single rocket. The rest of his team following up to try and stop that objective, but D, 3.5 minutes left, is doing excellent with this cart movement thus far. Humbles continuing to stay alive. The cart is moving. No other teammates left alive. Misses one of those rockets and is only going to get 1 out of 2 kills. As a result, the rest of his team follows up, but the cart is peaking, inching towards that checkpoint. 3 minutes left on the clock. It should be stated that this map of all of the free payload maps tends to have the most free checkpoints out of all of them. You can see percentage-wise we are almost at 50% of the map. So the fact that D is this far forward with this much time left is it truly should speak for itself, and yet the kill discrepancy between the two teams is not that different. D is continuing to stay laser focused on that objective, and that is why they get through checkpoint with 2.5 minutes left. And now they have to clear out their back lines with one player rocketing forward towards the red team spawn. Willow not spotting Humbles. Nobody seemingly spotting Humbles. Now Humbles going to go for the same route, gets another kill on Rekko. I don't know if that is going to work a third time, so he switches it up, and Dark Moon takes him out. The cart is now free for D to move forward with impunity as long as this front line remains unbroken. HiAF players like Mr. Soap trying to sneak behind, disrupt that controlled forward defense that D is known for. Their presence is phenomenal at this front line. Very good about switching in and out and reinforcing the areas that seem to need reinforcing at a moment's notice. Meanwhile, HiAF grouping up down that main rail, trying to move forward as a unit, end up getting taken out one by one. Lat goes for a kill there. I think he might have gotten... No. That is a 4-kill streak for Rekko at this point. Still alive in the front line. Finally, that streak is ended by Mr. Soap, who gets a flank on Willow on the cart. Rest in peace, Willow. No opportunity to save himself there, but that is the life of a cart rider, and one D player following up immediately. Dark Moon clearing out that cart, trying to defend his teammates. Rockets are alive way, way, way back, where it is hopefully safe and sound for the Rocketeer to be hiding. Dark Moon in the bottom of your basement, taken out by Zalas Saint. Good kill there. Humbles, missing just a couple rockets there, but he's just locking in his aim. Good kill by Zalas Saint, but only 1 health means he's taken out by Castle. Now following up, down the main rail. And the cart is moving forward once again. EP gives way for Castle, and now nobody on D is riding. Okay. Triple stack for D, moving that cart forward. Castle going to be going for that health. Multiple people on D trying to go for that health, and 1 player riding the objective. IF still mostly held up in their spawn, desperately trying to seize every opportunity to stop the objective that they can. Finally does stop it, and now Lat moving forward, going to try his best to prevent a group up by D. You can see on the minimap he does get skipped, and Willow turns around for him. Now is the opportunity for D to roll forward onto the objective. Celeste Saint with 1 kill there. Still, D trying to stack that objective. IF making it difficult though, clearing out the basement. They do have the respawn advantage in their favor. Rocketeering Humbles was alive in the basement. No, is still alive somewhere, I think, hiding. Mr. Soap gets a kill there, but now he needs to hop up to prevent the reinforcing D players. Once again, there's still 1 alive. Going for those rockets. Can Humbles survive? Looks like Humbles was taken out by Dark Moon, the Rocketeer Hunter himself. And now D is taking that opportunity as the rockets are dead to move the objective once again. The rest of High AF scrambling to try and stop this continuous forward pressure. They have had no opportunity to breathe and stop Team D from grouping up on the minimap. As we see there, it's just a near constant disruption and forward presence. Castle once again in the back lines, going to be moving the cart while the rest of High AF tries to move forward to stop D from grouping up, which has been the reason D has been doing so well so far. Is a mix between disruption and grouping up that is constant pressure preventing High AF from leaving their base. A near omnipresence from the team in blue. High AF putting up a valiant effort. 5 minutes though left on the clock. Control of the attic is secure, and the rockets are alive. Plenty of things looking up for High AF at this point, but there's still 1 D member in the back lines trying to hunt down Humbles. High AF trying their absolute hardest to prevent those rockets from going down. That is a linchpin in their defensive strategy, and also a very important signifier for D on when to move forward and start moving that cart. As soon as the rockets go down, that is, you don't even need a word for it in this game when you get experienced enough. Rockets down, that means go. Every single player on every team should know that at this point. D, most of all, cart moving forward while the rest of High AF has gotten wiped. 4 minutes left on the clock, almost to the 100% mark, 97.3%. Just a couple percent left to go. D is cleared out of High AF spawn and getting ready for 1 more group up down that main rail. Mr. Soap going to try and play for time, does get taken out by a wayward Rekko, who rockets forward towards the cart because the rockets miss 1 shot, almost 100% through, and Willow finishes off 100% for D. 3 minutes and 55 seconds left. That is a difficult mark for High AF to try and beat. They still have a chance. If they can make it through with 3 minutes and 56 seconds left to 100%, they will still win this map. But can they do it? You're going to have to remember that there were more than 2 minutes left when D made it through that checkpoint with almost no stoppage until turning that final corner with the cart being in view of said checkpoint. If they can make a similar time, I think they have a chance. Let's watch and see.
I have some scores to report.
Ooh.
Go ahead.
So Phoenix has secured their way into winners finals, so they will be playing the winner of this match tomorrow.
Nice.
We have then we also have the group shippers who lost, who are going to be in losers round. And then we have We Don't Name taking over Riot, so they'll be played in the next match in about 10 minutes. Back to you guys.
Anyways, this opener, Willow still alive with the double shotguns, gets another kill, 1 health left. Snarples finally ending that streak, but another D player popping out of the corner. Good shocks as well, taking out the objective, forcing Snarples to hop off of it. He has 1 health left alive. Snarples, I think this is a power play.
Uh-oh.
He has crashed. Oh no, he's back. Okay,
He's
okay,
back.
Okay, we're
He
good.
manifested out of
Thank
it.
goodness,
We're good.
every player you can get against a team of this caliber. Darkmoon still alive with the shocks. When did he? I thought he got taken out. but maybe he's been alive this whole time just hiding, waiting for the right opportunity to strike. Willow taking out any forward presence that IF could have tried to have down in that chaos room that you can see to the right side, that little cubby there, and Willow's going to be staying near the objective constantly. Even this early in the map, D is trying to stack players on the cart, eat up all of the possible time that they can, not going to let any players on D, or any players on high AF rather, move that objective forward without a serious fight. And once again, it's a near omnipresence from D. Even this early on in the map, there's still red all over the place that blue is having to deal with. IF looking over their shoulders at every opportunity on that cart. It should also be mentioned that despite the strategy, the focus on objective that D is so good at, and is well worth mentioning, all of the players on D are top level of skill. I mean, Evil Pancake and Rekko are multi-time most valuable Dasher winners, and they're both on the same team. Dark Moon, also an excellent player in his own right. Willow, he's okay. He's alright, I guess. and then Castle, of course, a captain of Team Onyx, and has been on Arc before, was on one of the only teams to actually be able to take a map off of D in recent history in a serious league match, and now he's on D. This is a serious, tippy-top team. And High AF, 3.5 minutes left on the clock. Still, slowly but surely making their way up the main rail. Their movement has been fairly consistent despite D's best efforts. I do have to commend that. D has not had any serious, consistent, long-term stoppages like they can be known to do. But as the cart continues to move closer and closer towards the red team spawn, and more importantly, further away from the blue team spawn, we are going to see longer and longer stoppages. I like these shocks out of the team in blue. IF really focusing on a clear. Good kills out of Celeste Saint, but Rekko clearing that objective and clearing out Celeste Saint. Now it's up to Mr. Soap with the shocks to hop on that objective. Once again, I like seeing those shocks. I do not like seeing that main reel riding out of the team in blue, out of high AF. And Willow gets another kill on the main rail, going to be hiding in this stupid spot, as I like to call it, because it's stupid how often it works, despite the fact that everybody uses it all the time. You always need to check that corner, and yet it's still good to hide in it. Just because everybody knows somebody's going to be there doesn't mean it's not an effective position. Me and Willow specifically, well aware of that fact. He goes back to that spot. And this hold by D is impeccable. Nobody by high AF, let alone able to get to cart, able to get behind that front line. No opportunity. I mean, D has all of the dashes and pickups and advantage in the world. This is a hugely one-sided map by design. Both teams have the opportunity to be on said one side with all of the pickups and stuff. But D is just making a very good use of that fact. High AF now moving forward. No rockets for D means clearing the cart's going to be a little bit more difficult. Despite how skilled you are, it still takes tons of bullet shots to clear that objective if you don't have a dedicated Rocketeer setup. D did not seem to have. Now they do. You can see on the map, one rocket hit the cart, just lining up those shots and now waiting for the opportunity for one player on high AF to move forward up that main rail. Evil Pancake gets one kill on Lateralis. 1 health. Gets another kill on Snarples as well, grabs the health, still alive, and still those rockets are alive in the back line. So even when High AF clears out all of these red players, the rest are alive in their spawn, and the rockets as well, trying to clear the objective, forcing blue off of the cart unless they want to be an easy kill and easy dashes for the red Rocketeer. The cart is cleared once again, 41%, 50 seconds left on the clock to try and make it through checkpoint. Can High AF make it through checkpoint? That is the question on everybody's minds as we reach the 40 seconds remaining mark. It seems like the momentum is starting to get into High AF's favor as the pressure mounts on to try and make it through this checkpoint. But D now getting that momentum back towards a neutral position, not allowing HiF to get into that health room, which I think is what was giving them those opportunities earlier. Now Evil Pancake going to try and stop that flanker. Not sure where Humbles was. Humbles ends up taken out by a fellow teammate. Lat going down. Celeste Saint dying on the main rail. Once again, 10 seconds left on the clock. Can HiF get an overtime push? No, Evil Pancake's going to punish that grouping in the health room. 5 seconds left, and Lat, seemingly not quite aware of the time, does end up going down to Willow, who hops on the cart, and D, with a pre-checkpoint, wins this match.
Wow.
And moves on to the finals against Phoenix. The winners' finals, I should say.
Yes. Which means they're done for the day.
Oh my goodness. What a match. What a day so far, and we are only halfway through. Looking at the scoreboards here, Evil Pancake, top scoring for the lobby, top killing for the lobby, 70 versus 47, 7,700 score. Celeste Saint for IAF, 53 kills, 55 deaths, 6,300 score. Very well done. What an exciting match to watch. But now, we are into the second half of this first day of the tournament, moving on to the losers rounds.
This has been fantastic. The
Yeah,
entire
no,
thing. And
it
the
is.
Flame is saying loser bracket not being casted. We're starting now. We're going to the loser bracket right now.
It's all loser bracket from here on out.
Yes, exactly.
Mm-hmm. And all of these guys have a chance to continue on towards the finals, towards whoever loses between D and Phoenix. They still have an opportunity to bring things back.
Absolutely.
Or is it the winner of D versus Phoenix, actually?
What is your question?
Is it the... Oh, no! Whoever wins the losers bracket goes against D in the finals.
No.
Oh.
Or
Well,
Phoenix.
oh.
If Phoenix ends up winning the match against
hold-
D tomorrow, right?
Let me stop talking.
Okay.
So, how losers bracket works is winners finals, right? D and Phoenix are gonna play. The winner of losers final, or the winner of losers round 5, will play the loser of winners final. So they'll play either Phoenix or D, depending on who loses. Whoever wins that gets to then play D in the grand finals.
Understood. It also looks like some of these matches have already happened. They might have misunderstood the way that this was going down, but that's okay.
No, actually, no. It's actually going exactly as intended.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, excellent. Well, then I'm gonna stop complaining about that and just let the matches roll. Let's look for which match we're going to be hopping
we got
into
Willow
next.
back in the booth.
Welcome
Yo,
back.
what's
up?
Congratulations.
Oh,
Moving
thank
on
you.
to the finals here. Just there you go.
Oh, yeah.
There you go.
No, it was very fun. I love playing tournaments, and I love hosting them.
Bing bang bop.
Bing, bang, bop. I saw in the chat, I was skimming the chat a little bit, saw people donating to the Ko-Fi. That's
Oh,
so
yeah.
awesome. That's the type of stuff that keeps cool tourneys like this rolling. So, obviously never feel obligated to do anything, but the league absolutely appreciates it. And I feel like this new board has been absolutely cooking with doing as much as we possibly can to keep things interesting. And again, only possible with awesome Ko-Fi and merch store. I don't know how much you guys have been pushing it, so it's possible.
We have been
Hey.
pushing it all the time.
Who was
What's
here?
up, Humbles?
How is it going, my fellow Dashers?
I am having a dash-tastic day, Get to be on
Good
stream with
to
all of
hear.
you guys, enjoying some
Oh, yeah.
awesome Dash League action. How are we
So we're just
feeling
going
in the
through-
chat? Seems like we've got a lot of comments. Thank you for that. A lot of likes. And I think we had over 50 people watching at one point.
Ooh.
Man.
Pretty good.
Jake saying just woke up, but love the game so far.
Also, I want to say for the Ko-Fi, thank you to Grim for being our first monthly subscriber to the Dash League Ko-Fi.
Let's
Oh, yeah,
go.
Choosing the top tier subscription. Thank you very much, Grim. That is very much appreciated, man.
Let's
Absolutely.
go.
I love the little microphone thing you got on there, Goose. Is that printed?
Oh. It is 3D printed.
Yeah, I can, I have like a sixth sense that like I need to look at something for like half a second, and I'm like, I know that's 3D printed.
Yeah.
Like I can tell.
Speaking of 3D prints, what are these teams playing for?
Oh, just a classic golden pistol, brought to
Yeah.
real life, which I can say it is exactly 1-to-1. Like you hold it, and it's seriously like I hold it, and I'm like, oh, I've held this for thousands of hours. Like I know exactly what like you grab it, and you're like you naturally go to your gun hold because it just feels so natural. It's really cool to have like your own golden pistol.
We now have the bracket completely up to date, so you get your pick of 18 or 17 for the matches.
Nice. Cool.
For a lovely quarry.
Oh.
Ooh.
Everyone's favorite map.
We got the High AF and the Goose Troopers waiting to play the winner of these 2 rounds. Woo! Losers, unfortunately, go home to their wife and kids. I don't know. They're done in the tournament.
What a bunch of losers.
Which game do we want to go to next?
I'm DMing it to you right now.
All right.
Which
teams is it?
It's going to be 18.
Okay,
18.
I'll take 22 then.
What teams are those?
That
Swole and Flow.
Swole versus
Nice.
Flow.
All right.
And with that, we have crossed over the halfway point for this tournament. At least for day one.
Love that. All right. Let me get us into this lobby. And then... Oh, the lobby is not up. Cool.
I guess it's in progress, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, there it is.
Aha!
And then I have the other game up on the side stream.
Nice.
So,
all right.
Gollum, Willow, what do you think about Quarry? Is it a good map? I don't think Dash League decided yet.
I don't know if Dash League's ever going to decide that, man.
Yeah.
After how many years?
Right. If it went off of how much I saw people complaining about it, I would think that Quarry is the worst map that pretty much ever made in all of existence. But also the amount of people complaining about it, I think, is about like 5 of the same people that just keep talking about it. So, I think the jury's still out on the other, 1,000 people.
So I think one factor playing into it is it's probably the worst map to play in a public lobby with random people, no coordination. That's not going to be fun because people don't like dominations that feel like they're going nowhere when nothing is going right for you, when your team is not working together. If it takes a whole 25 minutes for a map, but your team is working as hard as they can, it's back and forth, it's exciting, you're going against another team trying as hard as they can, that's different. And I think that's where a lot of the negative vibes around Quarry can come from, because when it comes to team play, Quarry is very interesting for domination. We saw with the waterway earlier how fast-paced it is, how it's so much about the best defense can be a good offense and roll forward, open sightlines. Quarry has 2 different pathways, lots of corners and hidey holes. Only one of the paths actually gets you towards that center B button. The other one completely skips it through a tunnel straight into the enemy base. And strategizing about how to use those paths, how to set up defensively or regain momentum. The slightly slower pace because there's not as many rails in straight lines on this map. That plays much more into a team coordination type of emphasis that can make for a very fun team-based game.
Yeah,
And
I would like to mention that my game has started.
Oh yes, I'm showing it right on the screen.
Yeah, why is the stream quality so bad?
Gang versus WNNN.
I've been hurt emotionally. Like,
Roll out by oh my gosh, Apology grabs that dash, grabs B.
Whoa.
But matches at the same time as his counterpart. I believe that was Crusher, possibly Whopper. And it looks like Blue has Gang's base, or had it briefly. Meanwhile, countdown. Oh, was a countdown for WNN, now a countdown for Gang, now back and forth. We might be getting into a mid-game if this doesn't turn into a point quickly. Okay, it does not. Apology goes down. The FOV is huge on this.
would you like to turn that down?
Maybe just a tiny bit. It might be a little bit disorienting. But anyways, Raider Gator. Oh my!
Oh yeah, there you go.
Jeez, dude.
That's what I want to see.
we want to be sniper POV, right? Just through the scope. Manager. If you remember, everybody on Gang has a nickname. I don't even need to bother going over what they were. You can go back earlier in the stream if you want to really know who's who.
The other game has not started. We're still in the lobby. We had to switch.
Okay.
We had to switch servers, I guess. So they're in
I
the
guess
new
they-
server.
They negotiated the server in the old server, is apparently.
Oh.
But you can go ahead and hop over to that stream once it.
All right, here we
fixes
go.
up.
Yeah.
Cool.
All right, starting on Quarry with the minimap and the textures. Let's see the rollout for Flow with Tex. Tex on Team Flow. I did not realize Textile was playing in this one. But I'm very
We also
happy
got
to see-
Razmataz.
Also Razmataz. We've got Noble, Romeo, Dazzler. That is for Team Flow. Meanwhile, for Swole, who we saw earlier, Chiron, Dope Dave, Swole Season, Blurber, and Steve Urkel. Still, even at this point in the tournament, probably my favorite name and favorite alias is Steve Urkel. Currently 0-1 on the scoreboard, but we are in the early parts.
Gotta call him out.
Well, I mean, he did well on the payload earlier, so I feel like he deserves to be humbled just a little bit before he starts doing well again.
That's understandable.
But Tex getting a kill over on B, and you'll see as we watch more and more of this map, we've got a lot of the perspective of the B button, the kind of like a quote-unquote main route, you might say, on the last map and on this one. But as soon as we swap POVs, what's very common for teams is to have 1 to 2 players who are dedicated to tunnel, 1 to 2 who are dedicated to going to B, and then maybe 1 player who swaps between. That's kind of like the typical default strategy, no other details going on thing. And so often we won't really swap perspectives until whoever is the float, the swapping position, gets a kill and then dies to somebody who is in the tunnel. Say, since we're on B currently. Countdown is well, first point. Whoa!
Wow, fast point.
Out of nowhere, full wipe on Flow. First point for Swole. Congrats to them. Is Flow going to be able to swap up their strategy and their flow, as it were, and get the momentum back in their favor, or is Swole going to continue to bully them through B and through the tunnel, I assume, is how they got that countdown you can see on the minimap. 8 and 9 moving forward. It looks like Swole already has control of Flow's base. Now it's just whether or not Red is going to be wiped. 3 Red players still left alive. That was a quick counter. Didn't last for long, but might give Dazzler the opportunity to counter. That was very that counter on B, allowing Dazzler to respawn and have enough time to get his own button. That was key.
Yeah.
That moment might not come again if Flow is not careful, and if Swole keeps up this constant aggression into Flow's base.
We're finally seeing them able to push out now, though. A little bit of momentum in their favor. I will say it's hard. Once the momentum really gets rolling like that on Quarry, with just how long the map is, it can take a minute to really get it back. And so now we're seeing that the momentum the pendulum's kind of swinging over toward Red's favor here. Flow getting 3 points, but they do miss. I think they lose their own base there. Oh no. Swole now has, both bases, just missing B. Flow only holding down B right now, finally getting their one base. This is kind of back and forth in the most random ways. We're not seeing a whole ton of fights here. We're just kind of seeing a lot of capturing bases, running around. We're seeing a lot of fast dashers, at least I am. I noticed that some of these people really can just move across this map, which with how large it is and how many dashes you need to pick up, you see Steve Urkel here picking up 2 and then dash dancing around, getting a nice kill on Noble.
Did I do that?
That's the speed that I'm talking about that allows him to stay alive in the enemy base. I feel like a normal fight wouldn't have gone in his favor if he didn't have all those dashes to be able to just absolutely run circles around Noble. Finally getting taken out by Romeo, though. Romeo getting the momentum back for his team, and now this is everybody's favorite part of Quarry, where he has to do the walk all the way back.
Slow walk. Yeah. No dashes available for him to grab. He's just, I mean, you just have to. You got to like plan out your approach, otherwise you're going to end up in a fight against Seasons and be stuck there and not really have any opportunities besides turning back, hopefully towards a teammate, which you don't want to do if you can help it.
Countdown. 1 second on
Once
Swole.
again,
Wow.
No counter.
Wow.
Tex and Razmataz not able to make it work. Swole up 2-0.
Super good hold by them there. You saw one flow member try to hit it down, but there was 2 Swole members holding the button. Again, of course, if you're holding a button down, the enemy cannot press it. Really, really hard to counter that. When there's one person holding the button, you can push up and get the kill and then press it, and it's like, okay, that was close, but well, no, it's fine. But when 2 or 3 people start holding, oh, that's where you really start praying.
Yeah, you hope that your teammate grabbed a rocket and blinded you. Because that's the only way you're going to get all of those kills fast enough to get the counter. Otherwise, you're pretty much out of luck when you have 1 second left on the clock. Nobody can shoot that fast with quick heads. At least, nobody playing the game without cheats, So Noble, making his way, sneaking through the bottom side of B, does get that hit on the button, forces Swole to turn back, and is going to be playing and stalling for time, but doesn't go for the counter, and gets taken out by Blurber, who seemed to be peeking at just the right moment, knew the timing of when Noble might go for it, punishes him for not seizing the initiative, and now Swole has comfortable control of B. I think a lot of what's working for Swole is not just their ability to recover B, and players like Blurber, who have been very good about sitting defensively, but a lot of Swole seems to be flooding through that tunnel, and it's difficult for Flow to counter that. Meanwhile, on the minimap, we see Flow is finally starting to serve a little bit of what they've been eating from Swole, which is that was an awkward metaphor to begin with, because I made it up on the spot. But you know what I'm talking about, right? Like,
yeah,
just flowing through the tunnel. The best defense is a good offense. Just try and counter the enemy where they're at. And it's a little bit of a risky move, because if you don't get that dash, like Razmataz is trying to do now, you won't have an opportunity to leave the tunnel in time for a counter. Good timing out of Razmataz.
Nice, good movement.
Oh,
Wow.
yes.
That was really good dodging that let him stay alive for just a little bit there. Almost got the kill on Season. Season's now pushing out. I think the biggest thing I'm noticing just looking at the scoreboard there is that we're seeing a lot more deaths coming out of red teams. Like, I'm noticing at any given time there's always at least 1 flow member dead. Now we see 3 flow members dead with a countdown, and that's it. Wow.
Congratulations to Swole for doing so well in this round.
Yeah.
I would like to mention my game is still 0-0, chugging along.
Oh,
No
right.
way.
Then we're gonna have to swap on over. I think after
We
get
will.
some scoreboards here. Swole,
All right.
top scoring for his team is Chiron, 4,800 score, 18 kills, 11 deaths. Meanwhile, over on Flow, Tex, top scoring, 4,300 score, 13 kills, 14 deaths. Congrats to both teams. And thank you for being in the tourney, but Swole will be moving on.
Nice. All right, well, let's swap over to that other game.
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh.
Oh. There we go.
Oh, there we go. Okay. So, still 0-0. WNNN versus Gang. Wait a minute. We didn't see this match earlier, did we? No. Okay. I was misremembering. That was WNN versus Swole earlier. Both of these names, I think, are just teams we've recognized, and we just happen to be seeing over and over again. But I'm not complaining. I mean, we've got Uzumaki Naruto's tearing things up on B, possibly the first point.
Wow. There you go.
Perfect timing for us to be hopping in and dropping a sniper.
Hey,
Oh,
there
there
we
we
go.
go.
That's all we needed to see.
Okay.
Keep in mind, folks out there, we will not have game sounds for this, just due to the technicalities of how this is all being run.
Yeah, it is what it is.
Is the stream quality fixed at all?
Oh yeah, the stream quality is great.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, thank you. I would have felt bad if I was casting a slideshow for a game.
No, it's all good.
So kind of a weird question, but is there a way to cap the frame rate? Because it's running at 900 frames per second for me.
Oh, interesting. I don't know. That's a good question. But I've always heard that more frames is always better.
It feels like it's real life. It's like it's moving a little too smooth. I don't know if that makes sense.
Yeah, I get that. Whenever I put on my Quest 3 with just how good the lenses are, sometimes I jump in game and I'm like, okay, hold on. Things are looking a little too nice here. I think technology's getting too far ahead of itself here. Oh, nice spawn kill by Cam there. Oh man, Naruto taking him out. We're seeing finally some rollout, it seems. This is very interesting. I see why we've gone this long with only 1 point. It's a lot of fighting in the middle ground, not a lot of base pushing. It seems like Naruto always fixing his headset. It seems putting one hand up,
get it tightened.
Yeah, right.
Man, get this man some duct tape. We need to have a duct tape fund for this poor guy, who is doing excellent despite how much he's having to fix his headset. It should be said, he is top killing for his team right now, despite playing about half the game with one hand, seemingly.
Right.
And his team has the only point in the game so far. Gang
Mr. Goose
looking
Goose.
to make a play.
Yes.
Outside.
Check your DMs.
Okay.
Throughout.
And when you are ready, say ready.
Oh, the ominous.
Oh.
Uh-huh.
All right.
Ominous. Wait, the countdown for Gang might.
I am ready. I'm gonna swap over to. There we go. Swap over to the lobby and get us going with our next match here.
This is actually going to end up being the same. I just thought that I went ahead and made the executive decision. I like the Laz large FOV million frame rate, but we can do a little bit of
Laz, that password's not working.
Does scam you? Is it another one of my funny bits? Let me double check.
Oh my gosh.
Well, this is the perfect opportunity to make sure that y'all check out the merch store when you have the chance.
Oh, it's a 5 instead of a 2. I misclicked.
Okay.
There we go. There we go. Classic mistake. I'm always putting a 5 instead of a 2.
Yeah.
Hey, look at the exact same.
Me and the boys.
Right. When you're dyslexic, 5's just a turned around 2, you know.
Yeah.
But here we are, back in the match. Gang versus WNN 1-2-0. Uzumaki Naruto top scoring and tied for top kills for his team. Meanwhile, Grass top scoring, but Minister top killing in the entire lobby, not just for his team. Countdown for WNN once again. Gang desperately trying to counter.
Oh,
The players like F2P playing out of their minds, delaying and playing for time. Good headshots out of Minister. I think with how much tournament playtime has been going on today, there's one of two options. Either players are absolutely exhausted, or if you have a great constitution endurance, this could be like the perfect warm-up. Like, you've been playing so much tournament, you've been playing against all these top-level teams, playing your heart out trying to win these last few matches. Now you are ready to go. You are locked in, you and your teammates. Your communication hopefully is on point. Your bullet speed and your accuracy is the best it's ever been. I think that is something really factoring in here, is whether or not a team is going to start to lose steam, or if the momentum is just getting started. So far for WNN, seems like it might be the case. They've kept their momentum slightly in their favor, despite not really getting a score besides that 1 point. Overall through this whole match, they've been doing pretty well for themselves.
shut up, Odd. That's so dumb.
What did I miss?
Bye. Yeah, thank you,
bye,
Squidward.
Odd.
Get him out of here.
Come
Get
on.
him out. Kick him out.
What did
Bye,
I
Odd.
do?
Can I get buy odds in the chat, please?
Hi, odds. You just get him
Yeah.
out.
Can we change the discount code to buy odds?
Yeah.
100%
Wow.
off as long as you're not odd to buy a thing. Otherwise, you are paying the bill. If Odd tries to order, he's paying for everybody else's shirts from now.
You know, pay it forward. We're doing pay it odd.
Pay it on.
We're seeing some momentum that would be coming out of Gang here, except that 3 of their teammates died. So now
Whoa.
Apology is doing some serious action, but all on his own. This could be a perfect opportunity for WNN to really get some momentum rolling in their favor. They lost Crusher, which is, now they lose one more, and now it's a 3v5. Might be hard for them to push up, but given a little bit of time, we could see Blue really getting some momentum. But it turns out, no, Manager is just going to clean up on B side and now push into the enemy base. Has a teammate, does get taken out, but his teammate backs him up. We see that 3 red are in there. Where did they come from?
Only
Triple
Crusher
bundle.
left
That's
the
it. That's
kill
all
on
they
three.
need.
Oh my god.
The score is now.
Wow.
We were announcing that that was the last point in the game, but no, they're tied up now, and we are still at the midpoint of this map.
Something I haven't been doing, but who would like to know who's in the lead for predictions? Because it is updating in real time.
Ooh,
I do have
yes.
numbers.
Go ahead, Laz. Announce that.
So right now it's a two-way tie between Dazzler and Iconic.
Wow.
Ooh, okay, great. Congrats to those guys so far. I wonder who's going to win. This is based on points, right? So only one person will actually be able to win overall.
Yes. Well,
Nice.
so there's about a 1 in a million chance that you have the same bracket as somebody else. So if we do have 2 winners, like they win the lottery, I guess we'll give out 2 sticker packs. But
Yeah.
it should be statistically impossible. Especially with only 30 predictees in the chat.
Fair.
Yeah, but that's until I start putting predictions.
Just DM Dazzle and Iconic, see what they got going on.
We can make the mummy one for it.
Right.
Oh,
hey,
true.
That's
True.
the
And then we can
tiebreaker.
cast that and then plug the Ko-Fi.
Oh,
Hey,
yeah.
it all goes
Whopper
And
back.
then
with
we can
the
do-
Heidi
we can do
poll.
predictions
Heidi
for that as
plays.
well.
Takes out manager.
Right,
Oh
right.
my gosh, what a peek out of Whopper.
Oh!
Doesn't get a chance to hit the button, but does trade out. So that is going to stop any momentum.
Nice. Which one is Quesex? Oh my gosh, I haven't seen him in forever.
Oh,
Is that canon?
I can give you
Yeah, just go to the team roster list.
I know you guys have probably already said this. I'm kind of late to the party here.
Okay, so who do you want to know who is who?
Kessex.
Who's Quesex? Yeah.
Westex is Cam.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Okay.
Who's Grass?
Grass is Aluna.
Oh wow, Aluna was giving me some serious trouble in pubs when I was warming up this morning.
Yep.
And,
Apology,
you know,
AG Black
Vince-
Cool. Minister is
Okay.
Calamity, and
Oh.
who's manager? Manager is Spaghetti.
Bag, right? Yeah. Yeah. Wow. That's a really solid roster. That is really good. And I'm glad to see Quesex back. If you know anybody's a little bit newer to League, Quesex is just like an old mentor that taught a bunch of players that are now like here on his team and competing in this tournament, doing really well. And I've always liked Quest a lot. But now we're seeing a countdown by
Also,
WNN.
he's got all 3 dashes on that run. That is insane. Perfect timing to be grabbing those dashes, but nobody else on his team able to follow up. The rest of them seemingly dying, and Apology rightly skipping past that front line, knowing that nobody else on blue is going to be able to counter it on B.
Oh yeah. We're
So
seeing
when do you start thinking about sudden death?
when there's 5 minutes left is when I start like being like, oh,
Well, I
okay,
guess-
maybe I'll think about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, when we start thinking about it is when there's 30 seconds left. That's almost guaranteed that both teams are like not really going to be putting in their effort towards trying to get a point. They're just going to be trying to stop the enemy from getting it and mentally preparing for the inevitable final showdown at B. But until we get to 5 minutes, at least in my opinion and Will's opinion, we're not really even like thinking about if the sudden death is going to happen, talking about the strategy that hasn't been talked about already.
Wow.
You also consistently find, since we're already talking about it now, that teams who plan ahead with the sudden death, it is a noticeable difference between teams who just run and gun.
Yeah.
If you have a strategy going into the sudden death, how are you going to delay? How are you going to bait out kills? Because one kill means they're gone for the whole sudden death, and you just have that much weaker of a presence if you are down even just one player versus your opponents. So developing that strategy ahead of time, it'll be apparent which team, if either, has done their homework as of
Right.
But we're not talking about that too much now, as Apology is getting headshot after headshot here,
Yeah, no
playing
kidding.
around B, missing the button, and does not have the dashes to escape Uzumaki Naruto, who cleans up and skips past.
Wow.
Dash barely surviving, grabs the health as well.
I can't believe he got away with that. If I did that, I would die. That's like crazy. Just how did he get
Standing on the button, even for half a second, can be a death sentence in this game. You're not going to be in one place if you can help it. But I can see why he's there. Trying to steal that dash is going to prevent Gang from moving up as quickly as they would like. Going to count down for Gang. Once again, 4 WNN players left alive. Yeah, I would have been surprised if that turned into anything. But
Yeah. Yeah. There are a lot of teammates in their base. So now we're going to see things are going to really go even here. It depends on who can win this tunnel, who can win towards the B. It's looking like we're going to stall out a little bit here at the tunnel. We're seeing Crusher does get a nice kill, but man, a lot of trades. Whopper now in the enemy base. This could be good. It's Whopper versus 3 players, which is a lot, but we've definitely seen crazier happen. Whopper does end up losing to Minister, though.
my God.
Minister ow.
and not off the space.
Yeah, where did that guy even come from? Like, he killed
got
him
close
before I
though.
registered. Seriously. Okay, here we're seeing some really good momentum by Gang coming out of B here. This could be a countdown. Gang has B and multiple of their gang coming out into the hall here, taking down, getting some kills, but they're not hitting the button fast enough to counter any real respawns. So WNN is able to get all of their teammates back out towards the B. Really good momentum that just wasn't taken advantage of. We're seeing someone button holding on B for some reason.
It was a countdown. For
What?
Yeah, you just were like so lost in thought.
Oh, here we go, another WNN countdown. This could be huge. This could be it. It's a 2v5. That's going to be rough to get a countdown on that one. These are close countdowns, though. We are in the 3-minute 45-second left here with a 1-to-1. To answer your question earlier, now is definitely where I'm starting to think of overtime, sudden death. Sudden death, which is crazy if we get 2 sudden deaths in the same cast. I was just saying when I was playing that, like, I don't think I've seen a sudden death in like a year, and like now all of a sudden, like, they're super popular in this tournament. I think it goes to show just how even a lot of these teams are about the strategy and the killing power and just the general rosters.
Even, and then also they haven't had time to play with each other because these are kind of like teams made just for the tournament.
Right. Which I think makes it interesting, you know? I mean, it definitely is interesting to see, like, what the peak of, you know, all of Dash League history can be and, like, who's the best of the best of the best. Like, that is definitely... Oh, WNN countdown! Oh! So close. But I love seeing players just all come together and, you know, just, like, this even playing field where everyone, you just see raw skill coming out. Just pure what people's experience is and how it transfers over to different people.
And whatever teams can make of themselves in a limited amount of time, less than a week.
Yeah, that's the one thing that I loved about this tournament is the teams are pretty random. I mean, there are some powerhouses coming in like D, but like most of them are random.
It's kind of a grab bag.
Yeah.
And one thing that I'd like to... Wait, countdown for WNN.
Big countdown. Really huge countdown. Only 3 up. This.
Barely.
Wow.
Good counter there.
Huge counter.
Screw whatever I was saying. I want to keep commentating this match. Only 2 minutes left on the clock. It is looking like prime possibility for an overtime.
Nice headshot.
Neither team really getting a serious countdown besides that one. And then there were 3 players left alive for WNN. It didn't seem likely. I was kind of surprised if the counter got as low as it did. It looks like Minister's just itching for the right opportunity to start peeking. He's already gotten a dash. Hopefully nobody sees that trail that was behind him. Now he pops out, heals himself, gets that kill on Whopper, who mistakenly goes for the button before the kill. Now Gang has their own base and the enemy base, and Whopper's continuing to get kills. Doesn't get that dash. He's now dead as a doornail, or he better be. Wait a second. Okay, F2P finally.
Oh, big countdown by WNN.
WNN. Holds their own base. Okay, that was a good. I just want to point out that was good of F2P and his teammates to be holding their own button. You don't always know where the enemy is going to be.
True.
You don't know if holding your own button, the only one that you're going to make it to in time for the countdown, is going to be a difference maker. Sometimes it is. So if you're near a button, and
big countdown.
Just go for it.
So close.
Just go for it.
We're right last minute.
Wow, look at that rollout by Grass. Insane speed.
It's also the dash efficiency, which is not just how fast you dash, but where you place it to maximize the distance and minimize how much time you are spotted, even if you wait in one point or another for just a moment. That is what makes a fast dasher, is smart dash placement and knowing your routes and having practiced them. For some people, over years and years of gameplay, like F2P, who's a very fast, efficient dasher. Countdown for WNN by himself in Gang space. Only 22 seconds left on the clock. Seems pretty unlikely that we're going to end up getting a point in these 18 seconds, but F2P was waiting just in case that opportunity presented itself. Grass, at this point with 10 seconds left, maybe going to go for just one brief countdown.
Oh, this is it. This is
a
our
lot of
last chance.
Their own base. WNN trying to counter 1 second.
This is really close. Only 2 up.
Oh my goodness.
Oh
my goodness.
Wow.
Point at the last second. Okay. Oh my.
Okay.
Wow.
All right. Officially overtime. That was good.
Barely.
There's nothing like a last 30 seconds that like makes everyone play at their absolute
pub push. Just the timer decides the organization for the team. And now everybody's going to be. Okay, Gang with first player in. Also gets somebody flanking behind Grass.
Ooh, good, huge.
Wow.
He's like
Huge
huge
flank.
left alive, and Gang has just
FTP,
Grass
that's
one-on-one. Gets the kill on FTP,
And
that
that's
is
it.
Gang winning this match.
Wow.
Huge play out of Grass with that flank. Very smart, very unexpected.
That's
and
like
very
a
sudden.
that practically won the game solo right there. I mean, that was insane. A huge flank, a huge amount of kills. That'll be one for the replays.
No kidding. We'll take a look at the final score here over on Gang. Grass is top scoring, 66 kills, 67 deaths, and WNN F2P 1800 score versus Grass's 1900 score. 19,000. Excuse
Yeah,
me.
that is a huge difference.
High scoring. You can tell this is the Corey that went to 25.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's also worth noting that, like, you know, top score in the whole lobby actually goes negative, and that is not to, you know, harp on Grass, but just to show that, like, there's more important things than just getting kills. You know, like, that shows that they're rolling, getting momentum, hitting buttons, like actually doing things to win the game.
Let's go take a look at the bracket, by the way.
Yeah.
Okay. Give me 1 second to get over there, and then
We are down to 16 from 14.
Man, dropping like flies as we move down along this tournament. So, the two matches which will be going on now. Losers round 4, Launchpad. We have High AF versus Swole, and the Goof Troopers versus Bang. So, in a moment, we're going to be hopping into match 21, which is High AF versus Swole, fighting for the opportunity for Losers round 5.
I will be taking 22. Can you believe that we've played 22 matches today so far?
It's been a whirlwind of a tournament, but thankfully all of these teams have been very accommodating. The captains for the teams also very good and on point with the communication and the hosting. I am thankful to be a PCVR user when it comes to tournaments like this. I mean, it's got to be tough having a Quest, a mobile headset, as most of the league probably has. When it comes to long things like this, a lot of players end up getting battery packs or some sort of unique recharge situation, or maybe they just hope their map finishes fast and then sit near a wall for a couple minutes.
Right.
I mean, that's happened over on Loot.
Well, also, multiple teams have had buys this tournament, so they've had 30-minute gaps to charge.
Yes.
Like Hi-F and TGT both got buys for the last round, so they've just been sipping on smoothies or whatever. I don't know what they do.
Cool.
Oh, I want a smoothie.
Yeah.
I had strawberry oatmeal today, and it was probably the best thing I've ever had in like at least a week.
I get that, dude. I make some overnight oats and blend up some cashews to put in it and as like a sweetener, so no sugar, and it's amazing. It's so good.
how long do we have until our next game?
It should be
A minute, but I think we're kind of starting to go a little bit behind schedule.
IAF's been pretty good with Mr. Soap as the captain. It's been pretty good with staying on
I'm
time.
former board member, very experienced.
Yeah, right. So he better.
Yeah.
I just also want to point out, because I'm sure a ton of people are going to be confused. Willow and I, we get confused in real life. For whatever I don't think we sound that similar.
I don't think.
But we're just sharing a mic, so that's why it looks like Willow's been silent this whole time. It's not just me talking for two people.
Also, can I throw in, just by the way, Gollum is using my laptop to do this cast.
Right.
He comes in, I'm warming up for the match, right? I'm like fighting bots, doing whatever, like I'm bobbing and weaving doing this stuff. He comes in, he's like, hey, I need an adapter, like for USB-C to USB, your computer, like for the microphone. And then I go digging through my bin of all the cables, whatever, only to see that he plugged in the adapter of the microphone to the USB-C next to the normal USB port on the computer.
When I looked, I didn't know it had a USB 3.0 port. I thought it was just some newfangled thing. I mean, the charger port is like a little bit, maybe micro. I don't know, man. Maybe an SD card goes in there.
I wish I could show you a picture of like the USB-C is next to the USB.
I'm not going to be accepting any hate for that. I'm just going to be an old.
Oh, we're going into Launchpad? I love Launchpad.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, we're redoing Launchpad and then Waterway for our final match of the day.
Oh,
That's exciting.
That's what's up. Launchpad. I feel like is so much fun because, you know, Canyon kind of funnels both team red and blue team towards the same direction, so it doesn't require as much like team coordination and like just under like total map awareness. But Launchpad, there's so many like nooks and crannies you can get to everything that it really requires each team to like know their players and know the enemies and know what's going on, and I like that a lot. We're seeing that Swole gets their cart taken down there pretty fast, and well, I guess they just cleared out red team. Man, I was like looking to see what was happening and just all of red is gone. Took me half a second, but okay, we're seeing now finally someone is taking out the cart. I think that's Z-Last Saint there is taking out the cart, getting some nice kills. Soap here is going to try and flank onto the cart. Gets one kill, turns around. There you go. Is going to whiff every shot and then eventually kill Dave onto the cart. We're seeing a nice double stack coming out of blue team there. We love a good stinger. Swole season. Now taking some nice space. We like seeing that blue team really wants to hold that health pack that you're seeing, and they are pulling it off. Toshiro, wow, with the rocket shield combo, gets a nice kill, and look at that shield cover flinging the dead body around too. Toshiro's going crazy. Toshiro's like an OG member, if I'm remembering right, like they use a pub player for a long time. Oh yeah, that is an old strategy you'd see of the shield rocket combo. And sometimes, you know, like something was meta and then like a counter is made, but then like it's not meta for so long that like all these new players don't know how to counter it anymore, and then like suddenly it's meta again. You know, and I like seeing that. We're seeing that, wow, really good rockets coming out of him, but just getting domed by Steve Urkel.
Yeah, that's nasty headshots by Steve Urkel. The cards are moving pretty consistently. We're at the bottom of the hill with more than 4 minutes left, so they're off to a pretty strong pace here, but red might have an opportunity to get a hold. I think they had 2 different Rocketeers left alive, but who is going to be left to defend the Rocketeers? Seasons says nobody. I'm going to go ahead and clear this card my damn self. Mr. Soap and one of his teammates, Snarkles, tried to go for the flank there, not quite able to secure it. Swole's been continuing his forward momentum as the Rockets for High AF desperately tried to get set up, and now a double stack for Swole. The offensive front line out of the team in blue has been phenomenal, has been dominant, has been difficult for anybody on Team Red to really get a handle on. This might be the final point in the map where that happens, though. No movement on the cart. The Rockets were pushed back briefly, but now are able to set up once again the shield rocket combo, and Humbles grabbing rockets as well. We saw him in that previous map do very well for himself with those rockets despite the high-level team he was playing against, and now is going to be meeting his match with Toshiro being the apparent main Rocketeer for Team High AF. Swole still continuing to move that cart forward. High AF trying to send red players through the flank constantly, but Swole staying focused on that objective. A triple stack as well. As long as the Rockets are dead, that is A-okay with me.
Steve Urkel gets
no help.
Steve Urkel gets that shot.
Oh no!
Wow.
That right there is the Steve Urkel difference. All right. Doesn't matter if you're one shot, you hit the headshot anyways.
That is what's up.
Urkel diff.
Urkel diff. He just did. Oh, with the dashing shotgun. Let's go.
Man.
I love that new skin.
Love it. Rep the stuff in the game, rep the stuff out of it.
I wish they had pistols. A pistol skin would be great for this. But anyways, I digress. Swole continuing to go forward onto that card. As long as red is not stacking it, then this constant flood forward is going to be working just fine. Also, when the Rockets are down, the card is going to be able to almost make it through the checkpoint here. High F is struggling to set up any sort of forward line to prevent flankers and prevent group ups for blue. Finally, they might have an opportunity here with a couple good kills in a row. You can see on the minimap, all of Swole was taken out except for one who just got domed through here. Mr. Swole himself going down. Now Chiron rushing through the shield.
This is huge.
That's an opportunity. Nobody was stacking on cart, so we got a little bit of movement through there.
We're seeing Snarfles, you saw in there, just got a 4-kill streak. Soap on a 3-kill streak. So red team is getting some really nice momentum here, but blue team finally gets this Steve Urkel difference, and now the Rocketeer with the shield does barely survive, gets out of it, but I think they got taken out later, so we're seeing Seasons now getting a nice kill, is then shot, sightlining for his team up above. Can't even keep track. Another rocket coming out really, really good. we're seeing that they are super duper close to checkpoint. So that's why you're seeing 3 red members on it. But you actually want, as red, it seems a little counterintuitive, to at least have some people pushing up, taking some space, so that disruptors like this can't get in there. But it looks like they're going to make checkpoint. That was a really good play coming out of blue team there. One person gets on cart and rides it. The second person distracts the rockets, so the Rocketeer couldn't get the kill on them. We're seeing that checkpoint with 1 minute now, which, you know, reminiscent of another game in this cast. Not bad.
Yeah.
We're seeing some nice movement coming out of them. Triple stack right out the gate. This is looking good for blue team right now.
Sure is, especially with the spawn advantage that you get when the spawns are reset after a checkpoint. Blue should, in theory, even just in a relatively even match like this seems to be moving forward mostly for free, just occasionally having to hop off of cart to stop some wayward disruptors. But so far, based on the minimap, IF actually getting some good disruption into the backline. Snarple's barely alive. Mr. Swole ending his streak just as it begun, but the rest of High AF has an opportunity to now stream in. Any amount of cart stoppage at this point in the map is going to be helpful for Red, because you don't expect the cart to stop all that much until you get towards this hill that we are on now. Huge fight, as you can see on the minimap, happening through triangle. Lots of kills, lots of deaths, but so far, Blue still has control. Just now, losing that triangle. Not enough dashes for Red to make it to cart just yet. Getting ready for that opportunity, and Steve Urkel himself on the front of the cart, going down. Dope Dave is alone. A couple teammates still alive on cart. Very dope of him to be surviving this long. Mr. Soap now ending that cart push, single-handedly getting 3 kills in a row. Good work, Mr. Soap. 4 kills total, but 3 in quick succession. Now 5. That streak is now ended. Snarple is going to be going on the offensive, not quite securing that kill on the high rail. Mr. Swole turns around to take him out, is in a good group up position with the rest of his team, but High AF has a disruptor in that shield room, backing off just as the rest of Swole is starting to move forward. Humbles goes down. Snarples, Mr. Soap goes down. Nobody on blue.
3 High AF down. A 4th one about to drop there. This is going to be some huge momentum for Swole now. Swole taking the time to double stack, which I would too, knowing that there's so many red that are dead and far away. Mr. Swole here trying to sightline down where he thinks the Rocketeer could get to.
Oh my God.
Mr.
Jump scare Humbles.
Yeah, Mr. Swole is doing some serious momentum. Especially with that horizontal gun hold. Crazy. I don't know how people can do that. Z-Last Saint getting a nice headshot there. You know, I'm seeing a lot of headshots this tournament. There you go, another one. It's kind of crazy. I feel like in normal league, you don't see this many headshots.
Yeah.
Seasons.
It's got to be just not just the category of players that we're playing with, but also this game's been around for a while. This league's been around for a while. I think we've harped on it in previous casts of league games throughout the seasons, but the kind of bottom line of play and the middle tier of play gets better and better, even as the top tier gets better and better. If you look on the earlier seasons of this game, of this league, the players are pretty terrible, quite frankly, even compared to the lower tier players nowadays. And so seeing plays like this, seeing an emphasis on headshots especially, it's no wonder that these teams are so far along in the tournament. Even in the losers bracket, making it this far through it is a testament to their skill individually and their coordination as a team. And part of that is emphasis on headshots and making every shot count.
I'm also loving how... Oh, yeah, go lads.
I have a statistical anomaly to report. You know Dave, our lovely website reporter?
Yes. Yeah.
Or Baker? He currently has 0 out of 30 correct predictions on Private.
Can we like steal stickers from him?
Yeah, his home address gets leaked because he gets them all wrong.
But continue, I thought that was fun to mention.
No, that's good. You know what? Honestly, Dave, it's just like that scene in the Spider-Man movie, like if you get everything wrong, I think that actually means you get everything right.
Yeah.
You get sent a sticker pack.
There you go. Perfect.
Just a different version of the Willow Award.
Right. This is the Dave Award. So Mr. Soap trying to set up a front line. Some players can get past him, but as long as his teammates can help clean up, he shouldn't need to continue and reinforce. He's just trying to stop blue team from reinforcing themselves. You can see some disruptors going into shield room in the bottom left. So Last Saint getting a couple kills in a row, clearing out that shield room, but now Shotgun is getting pressured. Mr. Soap has to back away and sees an opportunity to deal some damage. Hopefully his teammates can follow up, but Chiron does not get that health. His teammate steals it from him. But still, Swole has control outside of Triangle. That is the name of post-checkpoint launchpad. Either team, red or blue, needs to control the inside and the outside of Triangle to have control of the map, control of the momentum, of everything. Whoever has that outside triangle has a launch pad to then move forward towards the opponent or towards the cart, whichever side you're on.
I don't know. A launch pad.
Right. Nice. And has control of that dash, importantly. That's the only dash that red is ever going to get. Whereas blue gets their dash out of spawn, but mostly that dash gets used to get the triangle dash, which you can then use to get behind your opponents. It really is a game of triangle dash.
And blue being able to pick up that dash so close to where the fight is means that they're able to get really, really monumental flanks. And that's where the huge win is that you're able to get some nice distractions. Toshiro getting some nice shots on the back of people riding the cart there. We're seeing really, really good objective focus coming out of Swole here, but just not enough kills on High AF for me really to feel confident about how much of they're riding it. We're seeing Mr. Soap there on a 5 kill streak pushed up. Just
they have a
lot.
bit of a conga line of death is what I would describe it. Just kind of riding main
you see on
rail.
the mini-map, they're riding that main rail, which is great if you're not being disrupted, not being pressured. By all means, it's going to be way faster and more dash efficient to ride the rail. But if the kills keep trading, that's overall going to work better for red team. So, blue has the pressure to group up. I'd also hope that High F would be stacking the card at least a little bit here. Because that's, I think, really the only thing holding them back at this point is any micro pushes. Any opportunity that somebody on Swole is able to get that triangle dash and flood forward and get a couple percent of push. Mr. Soap!
Oh my gosh, what is this, a spectator sport? Oh my man.
Watching him you know he was clicking as fast as possible while reloading, hoping, waiting for the millisecond his gun is ready to take him out, and slow head turn towards him as he rides that rail. That was so funny.
A YIOTA moment.
Right. But Conga Line of Death ends with the cart being held at 86.14%. That is the point that High F needs to reach as we swap sides.
Absolutely, and 86% at that same moment that we've been talking about.
You want to go ahead and take a look over at the other game we got going on right now?
86% being the spot that you expect them to go, just to be kind of held at. That's where two kind of equal teams will end up. So, it's definitely not impossible for High AF to make it to that exact same 86%.
Oh yeah, do we want to do a quick look at the other game really quick?
It basically looks identical, to be honest.
All right, well then.
Let's just stay in it.
Gotcha.
Let's just stay in it. Then. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
And,
unfortunately, TGT is the least casted team of the tournament. They have not appeared on anything yet.
Well, that might change tomorrow, assuming they move forward against the gang. Oh wait, no, that's going to be right after this, isn't it?
Yeah, it'll be right after that.
Yes,
We still,
so
the winner of
maybe
this match and the other one are playing for the opportunity to play the loser of D and Phoenix.
Nice.
Very exciting. Very exciting.
That's quite an opportunity.
Mm-hmm. And now Steve Urkel in the top of house with the double shotguns, the
Golden shotguns.
Well, oh my gosh, peeking on Toshiro. I don't know if either of them really expected anybody to be there in that.
Steve Urkel knew. He's always locked in. He's never not ready.
Urkel moment. Now he grabs that dash, pops in behind cart, waits patiently to try.
He's on a 6K, 7K.
Out.
Really good kill streak by Steve Urkel there. But that's the power of the double shotguns. Like, if you let someone kind of run circles around you with the double shotguns like that, pick up your dash and stuff, it's kind of inevitable that they're going to go on a huge kill streak. They're just so powerful.
Especially if they, every time you get a kill, you get a dash. So as long as they keep getting kills, they keep getting dashes, they keep staying avoidant, difficult to hit, and should survive longer and longer with opportunities to get up in your face and stop that cart. I like that the rockets are set up all ready for Swole at the bottom of this hill, and High AF trying to continue this cart movement and not able to take out Dope Dave with the rockets. Snarkles finally ending that streak. Now he's on a 3-kill streak, holding up the checkpoint. Seasoned, not able to get that health, though. I think either just out of dashes or one missed dash didn't go through properly. Mr. Soap going down. Cart has been abandoned, and Swole trying to stack that objective. Meanwhile, High F mini group up in their spawn. Toshiro crouching in front of the cart, keeping that health ledge clear. But double rockets are up by Dope Dave, and Steve Urkel trying to reinforce him. The cart has been stopped once again and started once again.
Toshiro hopping right off of that cart, not letting it ride. Now no one is riding on the cart, even though Toshiro's taking all these fights that ultimately are pointless. These Z-Last Saint finally getting on that cart. So we see League Average, again, hopping off the cart. We see the League Average just making the bottom of the hill with 4 minutes left, and now they're at the bottom of the hill with 3 minutes, 30 seconds. Even though they had blue people around the cart, they kept hopping off to go chase those kills, and if that keeps happening, I don't think IEF will be able to beat Swole here on this map.
This is a game of repeated taken opportunities. Unlike with the domination game mode, where one wrong move or one right move ends up getting you the 1 out of 3 points that you need to win, this one is about consistency. And every little micro push counts. As long as the cart keeps moving, then you stay winning. And that's why stacking as red is so important, even if you're only alive for a few seconds. It's a few seconds where the enemy's trying to move and can't. Meanwhile, if rockets are hitting you, as long as you keep getting back on that cart in between every rocket shot, if you eventually die, the cart was still moving during that whole time. And that can be the difference between making checkpoint and getting held before checkpoint. Still more than 2.5 minutes left on the clock. Plenty of time for High AF to make it through. They seem to be on track, but it's not a question necessarily of if they'll make it, but how much time will be remaining when they do. Right? Because once again, game of consistency. You gotta stay consistent and eat up as much time as you possibly can.
Steve Urkel doing some really good job with the rockets here, though. We saw some really good rockets when the sides were swapped, but the rockets were able to be kind of distracted at some really key moments, and I'm wondering if Steve Urkel will fall susceptible to the same folly. Steve Urkel here is only grabbing the one rocket, not going to do the shield combo. Nice kill right
He
there.
pushes in.
Good double kill.
Wow.
Barely survived.
Impressive.
And he
And
gets
it's
the
the
third.
third kill, even though he died. That is the second time he's gotten a post-death rocket kill in a row.
Yeah, we love forward pushing rockets. Here we go. Another rocket going to be in the left
Oh,
hand
and
this
Snarples
time.
once again went for the flank, but went down.
Wow. We're seeing not a lot of cart movement happening here. We're definitely, this is where the cart starts to be really in red's favor of spawn advantage. Blue kind of has to win multiple fights with the same people to be able to keep the cart rolling, so it's hard to get every little last inch. But man, I'm used to seeing the cart moving a little bit more once it makes it this far in. Steve Urkel there, able to get some pickups. Let's see if he's able to cut the cart down. Taking a while. I guess it doesn't matter. We're seeing blue is grouping. We have a really nice group up coming out of blue here. This, I hope we're going to see some nice cart movement coming out now.
And also some pressure on the rockets, hopefully, by Snarples or somebody on Team Blue. Otherwise, he's just going to sit here for free and take out your shields that Toshiro spent so much time getting 1 health. Dope Dave ends up securing the kill on that flanker, and no movement on the cart for High AF with only 49 seconds left on the clock. Swole is continuing to stack that cart. I think somebody on blue needs to be picking up explosives if they want a chance to make it through this checkpoint. One solid push could get them through and get them the extra 6 minutes they need to try and make it to that 86%. Toshiro with the shield and the rocket combo, going to try and draw some attention for his teammates to follow through, and hops on the cart. But rockets are still alive. Nobody took them out. Nobody called they were out of position, or at least it didn't seem that way. And he gets a double kill. Easy double kill. Now a second Rocketeer is left alive. In the past, with the last 10 seconds remaining, shield stack on cart and double rockets basically all but guaranteed that this checkpoint's going to be held unless some miracle happens in the overtime push in the last 2 seconds. Anybody can make it. That is victory for Swole.
Huge Swole win. Good pre-checkpoint.
Congrats.
That was really good rocketeering mixed with the shield combo there on the cart. I think that really is what ended up winning them this map.
Absolutely.
We still have the other game going on, by the way.
Okay.
TGT just made checkpoint.
All right, well, let's get some scores really quick, and then we can switch over.
Sure, absolutely. So, top scoring for Swole is Swole Season. 69 kills, 59 deaths, 8,400 score. Meanwhile, on High AF is The Last Saint. 71 kills, 60 deaths, 7,900 score. Very well done through this tournament. Swole is going to be moving on.
Nice. All right, let's get over to this other game.
You guys might want to do your own stream. I don't know what's happening to my internet. It entered.
Okay, can you DM me the password?
Yeah, I got you.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
Thank you.
okay.
All right. We'll get that game up on the big cam here in a second. Let me just swap over here. All right, so that was a great game.
It really was.
Did you update the bracket column?
Yeah, I updated it for Swole.
Okay, I thought there was a ghost in my computer.
Okay.
Well, there still could be. Let's not write that off. Now we're
Just waiting.
through. Hey, while we're here, don't forget about that. We have that Ko-Fi, we have that merch store. This weekend only special for the tournament, we have that 10% off discount code. So if you want your team merch, this is the time to get it. We are not going to be running a whole lot of discounts. Don't get used to it for this special tournament to celebrate the merch store opening. So please go pick up some nice merch this weekend.
Meanwhile, swapping into this other match, 5 minutes 30 seconds. This is a pretty solid time to be past the top of the hill. TGT is making it pretty far forward, but you got to keep in mind, Gang made it to 92%. So they also had an excellent offense when they were on the blue side.
Yeah.
So TGT, despite their pretty solid momentum up to this point, and the apparently possibly a little inadequate defense out of Gang, still has a high benchmark to try and reach. And Apology with the flanking children and the long range accuracy, now going to give up his position as his teammates were dropping like flies. Somebody needed to stop that card. What was the term you used earlier, Lazarus? Like a
conga line of death?
There you go. Conga line.
Yeah.
That is definitely what's going on here.
Laz, can you pull your drone out of that game?
It has been out.
Oh.
There you go.
Or, well, I didn't leave that. I just closed Hyperdash. It might
Oh,
still be
okay.
in the server.
It's still in there.
So you need to wait a little for the server to kick it out. Oh well. We've still got the mini-map, we've still got the main drone as well.
I do love when two teams that are better at blue than red side fight each other, because then you get two teams that like make it to 90% like that. I think it makes the map really interesting. But we're seeing a really good hold coming out of Gang here. Just based on looking at the percentages, it seems like one of the first really big holds of the game. That is so significant. Now we're seeing some nice TGT movement coming in at that 78% with 4 minutes left. I mean, usually that's when you're like, oh my gosh, this team is stomping. 4 minutes left, they're 80%. But like, making it to that 92% mark is not easy. Once they make it past that 86% mark, there's a reason that every team makes it there. It's really hard to make it from that 86 to that 90 so that you can turn the cart towards the red spawn here. And we're seeing not a lot of movement coming out of the cart since they made it to that 82% mark. They had a nice 5% push, but now Can seems to be doing some really good stoppage.
And a little bit of a group up in front of Triangle for TGT Reborn. Not going to follow up with his teammate, grabs that help first, but now has potentially the opportunity to survive on cart with Apology. Decides he's going to end that potential cart movement before it can really begin Virtual Vega now. Moving forward, oh no, not going to get a kill with the objective. That's always fun when that manages to happen. Somebody misjudges how many dashes they have or how much time they have to get off the rail. But anyways, Gang, once again, with the forward hold on Triangle, the TGT has been pretty decent with the consistency in the movement. However, like Willow was saying, this right now is the point where most teams get held full stop. So with 2 minutes 40 seconds on the clock, there's still a decent amount of movement that can be expected to be done by TGT, moving that cart forward, potentially up to the 92%, although that is still 7% away from where they are now. Double stack on cart though, huge movement. Grass getting 2 kills on the cart, moving down the main rail. Minister following up. And not a lot of grouping by TGT, just trying to flood forward and keep the pressure on anywhere that they can. Minister flanking the cart with a shotgun. I like this move because even though I would like to see a bit more cart stacking by red, especially at this point, which can eat up a ton of time from blue, as we've seen in previous matches, having a shotgun flanker right there when the entire blue team wants to be looking forward can be effective for stopping the objective if they survive long enough, which they did not seem to do on that push. Cart still steadily moving forward. It's like every other attempt at a push TGT makes ends up getting 1 or 2% of cart movement. That is not what you want to see if you are the team in red. You want to see cart stacking like they're finally starting to do right now. And you want to see some forward presence in front of triangle. That game has been trying to do this whole time, but they just can't quite seem to hold it for long enough to shield down main rail by Reborn. And now grabbing...
Right.
Actually, I like this. I like this normally. I don't know if it's going to be helpful here, because Gang has not been stacking that cart with a red player very often. But who knows? Maybe a red player is going to help. Grass is going to get the kill on Reborn. Take out Vega. Vega got a little bit of movement, but there was no cart stoppage there. And Sugar now on the objective, almost around that corner, 87.86%, 50 seconds on the clock. TGT still has a chance to make it to 92 with a really good push.
Yeah, 4 more percent. I mean, and again, once they get like 1 more percent, that shield starts facing the red spawn. The more they push, the easier it is to push. And here we're seeing a nice push coming out of them.
Ooh.
Well, not quite.
30
Can
seconds,
shut it down.
30 seconds.
This is the
on
last
clock.
push.
One last push. It is so far away from blue spawn to get to that cart. Any sort of flank kill like Can got just there is going to make a huge difference, because there is no way that player is going to make it back to the cart in time. It's like the final
countdown.
Yeah, the final countdown. Or sudden death, rather, on a domination map. Which is not going to make it back. They're down for the count. 7 seconds left.
It's not
on
looking
the
good
clock.
for TGT.
5 seconds left. Grass getting another kill still. Red has control outside of triangle.
Wow.
0 seconds. TGT
There
does
you
not
go.
make it. Gang wins this launch pad.
A good win by Gang there, doing a good job of just focusing on standing on the cart, keeping it shut down on the red side. And making it to 92% is no small feat. Looking at the scores here, we see that Gang top scoring, top killing is Grass, or I guess just top scoring. Grass with 74 and 72 with 9,000 score. Over on TGT, no surprises here. Top killing and top scoring is Sugar with 86 and 65. Top scoring the entire lobby, 10,115 score. Sugar, obviously a very good player. Man, that was really good job by both teams there. Sorry that TGT, everybody asked to see them. We watched the last match of theirs. Because, this is the last match of theirs, right?
Yeah.
No, there's one more.
Yeah. Well, this
Oh,
this
there.
is
Oh, for TGT,
about
sorry,
to
for
happen
TGT.
is the
Yeah.
last match of the day.
Yeah. Yes.
And then we're going to be moving on to tomorrow. When tomorrow happens, we'll see finals, we'll see losers finals, we'll see grand finals. Always.
Can you tell us
forward to
a
that.
bit about what the finals games are going to look like tomorrow?
So that is going to look a little bit more like your standard match. It is going to be multiple maps, 1 payload, 1 domination, possibly a control point as a tiebreaker if neither team wins the first map. And hence why we have less matches going on that day, but still the same amount of time. There's going to be possibly some negotiation regarding servers and all of that. The standard rigmarole, except with these new teams that were made for the tournament. So be looking forward to that as we gear up for the next and final match of this first day of the tournament, Swole versus Gang.
Ooh.
Only 4 teams left in the tournament.
Mm-hmm.
Tomorrow will be the top 3.
Rusty saying he loves my shirt. Thank you. It's my bowling alley floor shirt.
Ooh.
I love bowling alley floor though.
Is there any gum on it?
There is no gum.
It didn't
Aw.
come with some?
No pre-installed gum. All right. Do we have time to run the ads really quick?
Yeah,
We've
let's
got
do
the,
it.
the Ko-Fi. Yeah. All right. Let's do this really quick.
Alright bots, it's called Ko-Fi. It lets you support Dash League with a little money each month, and in return you get some sweet things. For $5 a month, you get a cool custom Discord role. For $10 a month, you get the role and you get a personal shout out each cast. And for $25, you can get all of that and a free Dash League t-shirt every season. Now that's less than you'd spend on a coffee per month. Oh wait, you're bots. You don't drink coffee. or live. You kinda just stand there. Anyway, support Dash League by signing up on the Ko-Fi website. The link is in the description.
I hunt geese.
I'm gonna pretend that I didn't hear that. Support Dash League now on Ko-Fi and get cool things in return. Later, bots.
And I'm going to switch it back to the...
Sure.
There we go.
Very nice ads made by our very own Goose. I much enjoy them.
Thank you.
They look great. And I gotta say, looking at some of that merch, man, like that Dash League hat, the white one, I thought that looked sick. I thought that was great. I love the Gus sweater too.
Yeah, the Gus sweater is by far one of the best merch items.
Even if you don't love the Team Go, which you should, looking at that sweater, like I would wear that in everyday life, and like it just is amazing.
Oh, thank you, Raider, for the
Awesome.
donation. Thank you very much. So, anyways, soon enough, as soon as the lobby is up, we'll be hopping into the match of Swole versus Gang. I'm gonna go ahead and read off once again the rosters for these. So, Swole, first of all, is Dope Dave, Steve Urkel, aka Infinity, Grim Buff, aka Grim48, Swole Season, aka Seasons, and then Vlerber, Chiron, and Mr. Giggles. Meanwhile, on Gang, the other alias team, all alias, is Minister, aka Calamity, Interrupt, who is Lol, Triangle, who is Jaded, Grass, who is Aluno, Manager, aka Spaghetti, Apology, aka AJ Blackwool, and Can, aka Essex.
Oh,
looks like they are remaking the server. They probably got the server wrong. Since this is a team on Swole, has a very large spread of where the players are localized versus Gang, that I think is mostly central U.S.
US, yes.
Deciding what server to do can be a little bit of a negotiation back and forth. And there might have been some confusion on which one to do, but they'll be remaking that lobby, bringing it back up soon enough. And we will get into this final match, which is going to be Waterway. Like Lazarus mentioned. A pretty good map to be capping off this first day of the tournament, I think.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
very straightforward.
Very high action. I know after 2.5 hours of playing, these 10 people are like, you know what I want more of? Fast dashing maps.
Right.
For 30 minutes, give me it now. Please and thank you.
Speed, for the subscription to Ko-Fi.
Speed, love
Very
it.
much appreciated.
woo!
Yeah. High energy. You're right. I wonder how many of these players are having to charge their headset in between maps with the Quest 2 and all of that.
Yeah, if you're still stringing your Quest 2 along, like you definitely need to be charged that in every map.
That's one of the reasons why we said the max roster is 7. Is you need to have some players on retainer if you're mostly a Quest untethered headset team to rotate players and charge your headsets and all of that throughout this tournament. That's
we are starting.
That has to go into your preparation.
Oh man, right into it.
Here we go. The final countdown. Chiron at the top along with Swole Season. He's going to be going for that dash. I can tell he was gunning straight for it. Goes for...
Right.
Oh, not enough dashes to escape that rail. It looks like one of his teammates just barely started to. Gang, so far, just like in their earlier waterways, seems to have the better initial setup and momentum here. Grabs the button, countdown for Gang initially. That's a good sign for
Big
Gang
countdown.
opener. But can they keep it up? Once again, if you remember, I believe, what was it, Gang versus High AF earlier on where they played on the waterway? Yes, that's right. Then Gang had the good initial momentum, but they seemed to lose it as soon as High AF started to stabilize. Will we see a similar match here? Is Swole going to be given the time and opportunity to stabilize and get countdowns of their own like happened just now? And stop the initial forward, potentially practice push out of Gang and score the first point.
Look at
No,
them go.
not
Wow.
quite. Dope Dave in prime position to take out that last player, but not until after the counter had happened. One more player holding the button in that last half second can make a huge difference. And let me be a lesson to you. The Swole has gotten countdown after countdown after countdown. They have not held up at all. Foot on the gas, pedal to the metal. Lots of Gang players in their own base trying to get their own button and dying as a result.
It can be exhausting to have to deal with just like non-stop fight after fight after fight like that. It just feels like it feels like a Hydra. Like you kill one of them and two more show up. And
Right.
It's just non-stop. There really, even if you're not getting scores, there really is like an exhaustion factor to it. Of like, oh my gosh, like get these guys out of our base. Like it makes you feel like you can't push forward. It makes you feel like you can't really take space and go and try to get a countdown of your own because they're always touching your own button. And now we're seeing some good aggression here by blue team. Gang is in the enemy base. Grass at least now is there, waiting for his teammates to press B. Looks like this has been a fight for B more than anything else. It looks like everybody's own bases has been highly contentious, but B has just been like holding everybody back. We're seeing a good countdown by Swole though.
Wow.
1 second, that's it. Wow, good.
And that was a team wipe. Yep.
Good team wipe by Swole there. Just keeping that forward momentum rolling. They got that advantage of it. It's always exciting to see a countdown that, like it's just like they're holding buttons, they have to perfectly do it, whatever. But like getting that team wipe and just you could stand around for a few seconds and just get that win. Oh my gosh, does that feel good? Like you know that you deserve that point. Swole here is trying to get some nice B control. Is going to start pushing forward. Wow, already getting some countdowns. Swole's doing really, really good here. Is going to get taken out. Almost could have had another countdown there, but Grass did end up countering it. Now is able to roll out and go to B. And Grass now in the enemy base. This is exactly what he needs, but he did again. Grass keeps being in the enemy team, which I think is Questex. Keeps being in the, or no, Can is Questex. Anyway, keeps being in the enemy team's base, but then not having being able to trust his own teammates to hit B, which I feel like can kind of go back to that thing of like people are making these teams for this tournament. They haven't gotten a ton of time to play together and really figure out what everyone's rollout is and really master that down, because we keep seeing Grass in the enemy base but not being able to hold B. But we're seeing Swole has a really nice countdown here. Swole does get countered by someone on the blue team. Gang taking their own button back. Now we see one Swole member back in the blue base. Grass is just getting circles run around him. Oh, I guess not. It does end up getting down. Mr. Swole is going to move forward now. Grass at B with a teammate is going to try to roll to the enemy base. Man, I don't know how people get away with standing at the end of high rail like that. It's crazy. Grass now in the enemy base, getting a nice countdown, is going to get one kill, and Steve Urkel does get a nice little counter for what little time they had. Now we see Gang is only holding B, even though they have teammates in the enemy base and everything. It's crazy, the amount of momentum that we're seeing. Swole gets a nice countdown here. 3 up on Gang's side. Is going to try to hold B. Not quite enough. Is going to end up losing their own base. But now we're seeing another countdown by Swole. Only Can and Grass up. Grass doing a really good job.
And Grass once again still alive in that base. Another countdown for Swole, but Grass not able to commit to holding that button since he's trying to pull attention from the respawning Swole players, who eventually managed to take him out and end his killing spree. Steve Urkel goes for that dash, going to be riding that bottom rail, turns around to try and take out that player, not quite able to chase that kill, and Triangle punishes the turnaround. Only Dope Dave is left alive on Team Swole.
Wow.
Does still manage to get the counter in the opposite base. And another countdown for Gang. Still several Swole players left alive. I don't think this is going to turn into a point at this moment. And even though there's still several Gang players left alive, Mr. Swole with the head shake for the quick little dodge. I want to see some more Lazarus spins in here. I think you need to hold like a lesson. That button hold moment. That felt like that Spider-Man lead, with the pointing. Like, no, you're holding the button.
No, I'm holding the button.
Nobody's shooting at each other.
It's so clear they're both really tired that they're just throwing their bodies at the buttons.
Right. I mean, might be at this point. 19 minutes left on the clock.
Oh,
another
countdown for Swole. A big countdown. Steve Urkel able to hold.
Only Alive do
Not
get their
quite
own
enough.
base back. They're not going to turn into a point. And remember, the pressure is on Gang to get at least 1 point in these next 19 minutes. Or else Swole is going to win this map. I mean, they already got the 1 point. Really, all they have to do is keep the momentum and the pressure on Gang just enough that they themselves can't score. I would assume that Swole would like to score if they can, but they don't have to. They don't absolutely have to. And I would imagine that is building into their strategy a little bit. Triangle with the tricky positioning, not able to be seen by any respawning red players, gets that kill on B, hits the button, still alive on 1 health, gets 1 kill before being popped out of the red team base, and now Can is thinking about moving back. It seems like he's committed to the defensive position, and now has to contend with the 1 red player who was in the basement. Takes out Mr. Giggle, Mr. Swole. I've talked about Mr. Giggle before in other matches, confusing names sometimes.
That is Mr. Giggles.
Right. But Can staying defensive, it seems. I'm kind of torn when it comes to having a dedicated base defender, pistol
Ooh,
sniper.
countdown for Gang here.
Oh, good countdown there. Not going to turn into a point though. Still a little bit more back and forth. A good base defender can be a godsend on a map like this if you just don't have to worry about your base for the most part, especially if their long range accuracy is excellent. That's 1 person you're committing to not moving forward, not gaining momentum in your own favor. So just like picking up heavy weapons on this map or other maps, you have to make it worth it.
Yeah.
Brief countdown. Not going to turn into a point.
Oh, Swole gets another countdown here. 1 second.
Lose the fight against Grass. That would have been a 2nd point for Swole. Now
Swole gets another countdown here.
several players by Gang left alive.
I don't know. That's kind of thing is like once you get a really nice countdown like that, and then they counter at the last second, it's almost impossible to get a score after that because you've now synchronized basically an entire team's respawn to all come out at the exact same time, and you are not getting that.
Because the respawn timer while you're respawning is stopped during a countdown, the timer is still going. So
Right.
if it hits 0 while the countdown's happening and then it gets countered, it gets reset. All of you are going to spawn all at the same time. It's like a free group up, in a sense, that can really work against you if you're trying to hold up the base. You want players to be streaming at you 1 at a time,
Right.
not get flamed.
Absolutely. We're seeing some really good momentum coming out of Gang here. Gang, Grass at least, able to hit the enemy button. And is backed up by a teammate with Shocks, which you never really see anymore. Here we go. This is a really, really big countdown. Only 2.
No,
only
we got the
1 up.
counter!
Okay, Gang, it's a 1v1. 1v1.
He got the
Brady
kill.
gets it.
Whoa! Team wipe is Gang. Ties it up.
Shots
Really
on the
unexpected. Very well
Shots
done.
on Waterway.
Shocks on Waterway. Shocks on Waterway. Never been seen before. Nobody's ever done it. Wow. All right. Well, now it's tied up, and now we have, how long is this? 15 minutes to see if we go to another sudden death, which would be just really funny.
That'd be very exciting. Yeah, because at this point, I would hope that these teams have at least an inkling of a plan for sudden death, for what you're going to do to take this, because really, at this point, both of these teams have been through just as many matches as each other throughout this whole tournament, and have had all the time in the world to communicate with their teammates in matches if they haven't been doing that ahead of time. If only one of those teams has a plan, like I said about that Quarry match earlier, they're going to be the ones that win out. Clearly that team on Quarry had a plan, they ended up winning, and now in the Waterway, with scores tied up, it's going to be more back and forth, more pistol sniper versus pistol sniper action here between Can and whoever his opponent, way off in the distances.
Absolutely.
As both teams are fencing for opportunity.
We're seeing not a lot of momentum going on here. A lot of just fighting for B, trying to push forward.
And that's kind of different from how it was earlier.
It
Now
is.
that the score is tied up, both these teams playing a little bit slower almost, it seems like. Oh my gosh, did I say slower?
Holy crap.
Sonic the Hedgehog and all the dashes in the world.
Oh, this could be a countdown if they get... maybe not.
Okay. Yeah, opportunity's gone. You got to take it right away, or else it's already too late.
Yeah, absolutely.
And purple.
Losing B is kind of like the name of this game right here between these two teams specifically. Is like both teams seem to be able to be really proficient at getting into the enemy base, getting their own base, like shutting things down, but then just like they lose B to one random guy who gets a dash, and then like no countdowns happen. And, you know, that's why we've seen so many countdowns, but not very many points being scored. It's just they're not able to lock down that B.
The Joe Schmo.
The Joe Schmo. Steve Urkel, again, getting one kill at B, but leaving the other guy there.
Just grass, only a grass, left alive, but gets a counter.
Yeah, does get the counter. I think, again, gets the counter at B because Steve Urkel left him there. It's just not quite going to happen if they can't secure that B. We're seeing that now Gang has the countdown, which is crazy. Steve Urkel in the enemy base, but all alone, and his team presumably struggling in their own base.
No kills means no dashes, means no life. He's out of there.
Elbozo.
Right.
Grass getting him. Hell Urkel. Wow. A really nice rollout by Grass there, but now we're seeing that both teams kind of only holding their own base, not able to really roll out too well. Gang sending two people into Swole's base, but just doesn't feel like getting taken out. So we're going to see a lot of the momentum stop here. One Gang member in the enemy base does get taken out again, just back and forth and back and forth and back and forth here.
One factor I wasn't considering is Han, specifically, or Kessex, you know, Han,
Right.
I'll just say his name here, is he's been playing very defensively. I don't know if he was doing that initially on this map, rather. And when he started playing defensively, that
big
is the time
countdown.
that Gang ended up getting the point. I wonder if Swole's trying to match that playstyle, and that is why things seem to slow down.
Oh, only one up. That's
my
it.
gosh,
That's
that's
it.
a wipe. Swole gets a point, as I was saying. As
That's
I was,
crazy.
this is like, what's Caster's blessing or something? Caster's curse. You can put the camera on somebody, and then they suicide on cart or drop it into the water or something. Caster's blessing now is I talk about the slower pace of the game, the team playing defensively, and then they go ahead and score a point right after that. Classic Caster moment. So, now the opener here. Grass taking up. That's a huge pick. Huge pick by Seasons. That forward momentum out of Gang. The forward push, initial rollout, completely halted by those two kills in the base of Seasons. And now Seasons is rolling forward. Nobody on his team is on B, so this is not going to turn into a countdown at all. And he gets taken out. Gang comfortably in possession of their own. No, not comfortably in possession of their own base. One player is healing, dashes, and starting a countdown for Swole. Chiron not able to hold the button. Gets 3+ players completely by himself. But Gang needing to take a moment to get those dashes. Swole keeps getting in their bases, stealing those dashes, and Gang keeps having to turn around to clear out the base because they don't have enough dashes to lead. Apparently, Grass finally gets that bottom dash, gets the opportunity to try and put some pressure on.
Thank you, Dave, for the $10 donation.
Oh, thank you, Dave.
W. Dave.
Dave.
And
His bracket still has gotten no correct things, by the way. I just want to give it the credit on that.
And also, meanwhile, while we're at it, go ahead and check out Dave's Ko-Fi. I'll be posting the link for that in a bit. But he's been so helpful with the website, with setting up all sorts of things throughout this game. He absolutely deserves all the attention and respect for
Also,
what he's been playing.
Just a heads up, the Dave that is playing in the game right now and the Dave that donated are two different people. He did not
Are they
multicast.
really?
No, that's not true. He's so proficient. He's playing, he's donating, he's
Dave
typing
is
in chat.
Yeah, he's just
Really the optimal Dashley player of all time.
yeah, exactly.
Dev Dave made the website. Dope Dave's in the game. Okay.
And kicking
got it.
ass, yeah.
Thank you. So we're back to canned defensive gameplay for now. You can see this is a active defense. He's constantly repositioning to try and counter where his opponents are going to be. You don't want to just be sitting on that shock.
Ooh, big countdown.
Has great visibility, granted, but doesn't allow you any. Once an opponent gets into your base, doesn't allow for any kind of high ground option.
Countdown for Gang.
Against them.
Wow. That was close. Close countdown. Oh, now another countdown.
Because Swole is not going for their own button, only finally now getting their own button. All of them have the same idea.
Wow.
Jeez, Dave barely clutching that one out for this team.
That was very dope with them. And Can.
Oh,
moving
Can,
forward,
nice.
Switching things up.
A
Also
good
with
countdown.
aggression. Can was playing super defensive throughout a lot of this and is deciding to pick up more opportunities to hop towards B and hopefully allow his teammates to roll forward into the enemy base. Been now having to turn around as that's his job. Still forward on B. There was a countdown for Gang.
Wow.
Good duck behind the button. Can doing excellent work right now.
Yeah,
In fact, realizes the momentum is starting to get back into Swole's favor. Good game sense there on the part of Kessex. He's now overwatching the B point. We've been on his POV because he's been getting kill after kill. Nobody really has been able to stop
He's on a
him.
5 kill streak right now.
51 kills, 27
Wow.
deaths.
He's freaking out over there.
Yeah.
His whole team has a really good B control. He needs his team to push up now. And now that he's on B, I would tell that guy to go try to help with it.
And I don't care if you have one dash to get onto the rail. Just ride that rail. Nobody's going to stop you. I will watch your back. That is what I'm sure is going through the comms right now. Triangle now, the defensive player on B, since Can did go down. Triangle still trying to maintain control of that B button, but Season's taking over that
Season's
for
got
his team.
Or Swole counts. I was close. But now we're seeing a little bit of momentum coming out of blue team here. You see that 4 of them are on B right now. Gang is, and now Can try and back his team up, but now his basement is going to be flooded with red people. Steve Urkel,
well, Can was prevented that top dash from being stolen. It still allows one of his teammates to get it. He knows nobody on red is going to have the opportunity. But I don't think he knows that player number 4 in the bottom left was in his base. Season's also following up with one health.
Wow, that's it.
Hide game.
Wow.
No, not win game.
I
That is
wouldn't.
game.
Game. Go ahead,
Swole
Laz.
was seeded 9th for this tournament. I'd like to
Wow.
mention.
Good job.
The
Swole.
Europeans. I don't know Europeans. My bad. I don't know they have the top.
Reading off some amazing scores here that we're about to see. We see that over on Swole, top scoring, surprising no one, is Steve Urkel going 53 and 40. Over on Gang, presumably it is Triangle going 50 and 48 with 15,000 score. 15,000 score also coming out of Steve Urkel. That's what you expect to see out of a long waterway like that one. But a very, very good showing by Swole there, who now, if we go ahead and pull up the bracket, is going to do what tomorrow?
Yeah.
They are moving on to the losers finals. They will be playing the loser between D and Phoenix for the opportunity to play the winner of that match in the grand finals tomorrow. So be on the lookout for that match. Same time tomorrow. We will be starting the second day of the tournament. Only 3 matches left to go before the grand final. Grand finalist team of this tournament is decided.
I would like to also mention, if you did not get in for this tournament, okay, that really sucks, right, Colin? But what's another thing you can sign up for that's happening in a month?
Dash
What?
League!
Dash League!
Season 9. So, be sure to register your team for the full Dash League season. 6 cycles. 2 weeks per cycle. It's going to be a blast this next season. We're very excited about everything we have in store for y'all when that starts February 17th.
Absolutely. And if you don't have a team, if we have a whole channel for recruiting that you can go and join another team and then compete, and then you can tell your whole family that you're a pro esports player with merch.
And get the merch for it.
Yeah.
We're going to be adding the season 9 teams once those are locked in to the merchandise store as well. So be on the lookout for those items. And all you new teams out there, be on the lookout for your own team's merchandise being added to the store. Any other points to make?
Yeah, do we want to
No, I
have
don't
some last minute thoughts? I don't know. I thought this was really fun. This was a great,
Great
first
putting
day.
the power in Power Tournament.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, no kidding. Tomorrow we're going to see some of the best games, so definitely do not miss out tomorrow. Tomorrow is going to be at the same time that this tournament was, so it's going to be noon to 3 PT, 3 to 6 p.m. ET. If you live not in America, don't know what to tell you.
Sorry.
Yeah, figure it out. And definitely tune in because we're going to see some huge teams absolutely stomping. We're going to see a lot of the same top teams playing different maps rather than just one team per map. But thank you so much everybody for joining. I think the game has been great. The casting quality has been great.
Yes.
What's up with you, Goose?
They want a prediction update if you have one.
Oh yes, last
So yes.
Onyx tied with
Let me take a look. So Iconic has taken the lead by 1 game.
Nice.
He's 1 point ahead Dazzler.
Good job, Iconic.
We're still
Nice.
not over though. We're still not over and done yet. 3 games.
Oh, Dave
left
got one
to
right.
go.
He got one right.
Yay!
No, I almost wanted him to shoot the moon. Congratulations, Dave. Though he's the real winner.
Yeah.
here.
Uh-huh.
Absolutely.
Yeah, thank you everyone who donated to our Ko-Fi. Please, if you haven't, we would super appreciate it. If you don't know Ko-Fi, if you don't like Ko-Fi, whatever, it is just Patreon. It's the same thing. Just Dashley got to keep some more of the money rather than it going to their overhead. So more of your money directly goes to Dashley when you donate there.
To funding this league, the content creators who participate in this league, and a potential prize pool at some point. I mean, we're gonna just have to see what the results of these things are, but it's very exciting to be able to kick things off like this.
Yeah. Thanks so much for casting, Goose. I think somebody else mentioned in the chat that like the casting quality has just absolutely come in.
Excellent.
The
Yeah.
peak of all Dashley casting.
Yeah, and I'm glad that we could get those crowd mics working. We had a live
Yeah, no
live
kidding.
crowd somewhere. I don't know where they were, but they're here.
And it was great. Yeah. Any last thoughts?
I think I'm good. I'm excited for tomorrow.
We're good.
All
So,
right.
Until tomorrow, y'all.
Yeah.
We'll see you there.
Thank you everybody for joining.
Bye everyone.
Don't forget
Thanks.
to leave a like.
Absolutely. See you guys later.